Nerds. We are nerdy. We're having a good time.
No, I haven't.
It is our anniversary live. And we didn't even plan this shit out because this is not even an episode. We're just here, nerds.
It's a surprise birthday party for the nerds, from the nerds, for the nerds.
Unite, you know? I mean, seriously, everybody knows Catch and Flow went down just a few weeks ago. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And we did do a lot of talking about that with the Soul Boys and Mr. Sour Mash right here in this very room, which will be coming out.
Yes. So, I mean, I had a kind of like debate in my mind about that of like, you know, we're talking about Catch and Flow so much in that episode. Should I drop it before the other episodes that we have set in motion right now as a kind of like side episode? Kind of like the Rod special episode, you know, it's just like, of the times.
I mean, it's an option.
It's an option.
I mean,
I don't do a little, you know, like little editing work in there.
what is beans? We got some nerds in the chat already. Nice to see y'all. We got what podcast better be coming back?
We didn't go anywhere.
What did I hear, baby?
I mean, like this may be somewhat of a hiatus that was never announced.
We're a little leggy.
Yes. You know,
Man has 3 kids. I'm all over the fucking place. You know, it's kind of
multiple ways.
Yeah, many ways. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, I just spent all evening hanging out with his 3 kids, and that alone was a handful. You know, they were just, Rod, play with Rod. Look at this. Rod, look at this. Look at this. Madness, dude. I can't imagine.
It hasn't been,
Spotify hasn't uploaded since 2019. I don't believe that's true.
Whoa. I mean, you know what? I mean, to be truthful, I don't use Spotify at all.
Well, let's have a quick look.
I don't even have it on
here. Got it right here.
There you go. We'll double check on that. So
right now, episode 55 is the last one uploaded. That was November 5th. Just happened. So
update
your Spotify, maybe?
Possibly. We'll see. But it should be up there, you know, with everyone
looking at my Spotify right now, and it's up there.
With all the people that are supporting, you know, that money is going.
And that's not the Damanerds Spotify.
Yes. What?
That's my personal
Okay.
Spotify.
Yes. So double check, you know, sometimes you just need to update the stuff. But yeah, you know, with everyone who's supporting kendertainment, Damanerds, you know, that money goes over to pay up for the service.
Shit like that.
The podcast
apparently
server
fucking good enough. Motherfucker, Spotify, not it. Kind of one of those things, you know, like I got into it because I was like, oh, this is sick. You know, you get like this big like amalgamation of all the music that everybody likes, and they like how it's showing you shit, and like, you know, you learn things, and they support the artists. That was the biggest thing for me. I was like, you know, like, but then, you know, I like see all these artists commenting shit, being like, oh yeah, you get like 0.000001 cent per play or some shit. And it's like
a tiny ass amount.
Okay, so I gotta fucking literally just leave that shit on.
You like what you do
times in order for my guy over here to get a fucking beer's worth of money.
That is one reason why I say nay to Spotify, because like, you know, I'm coming from fucking underground, hardcore, indie bands, metal bands, you know, as we go to the shows, you buy the merch, not only to like get a dope shirt and have it memory for that evening, but gas and food money for that band.
Absolutely.
Especially if they're touring.
And they're touring, so that means, you know, they probably have a home still where they're still paying rent, you know, so like that's also a thing, you know, like right now, like I'm in Japan for a month, still paying rent back in Vancouver. Had to kind of bust my ass a little bit to get it here, but hey, we made it. You know,
I think it's really dope how like you can find so many different artists through it. I would definitely highly recommend anyone, if you find an artist that you're like listening to a lot of, throw them some bone.
Absolutely.
Check out their support band, K-Daz.
No, I knew this was coming, the whirlwind check. I should have fucking seen this coming. All right.
And you do it? And don't do it.
Shit the bed. No, I gotta get one more on it. Okay, third try or die? Whoop. Fuck, I'm dead.
You'll get 2 tries, and then we move on.
Yeah, well, now I just want one for myself.
That's usually what it is.
Why?
Oh,
dude, I'm
got you.
Go to buy my promo. by my prologue because I can't whirlwind.
Oh, I saw it right there.
I do. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm actually gonna stand up. It doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter.
Nope. Now, are you doing inward? Now, sometimes like when I'm sitting down, I think I'm going with a thumb in the big cup because I feel like I have better accuracy with
Interesting. You thumb in the big cup.
Thumb in the big cup.
What?
Oh, damn.
Flip.
Yep.
What in the actual fuck is that?
So I've been
Really
getting into Austin Donovan's way of flipping the ken.
It's so weird.
So I know there's a few homies in Japan who put their thumb under, they keep it under the sonado and they spin it like that. I feel it's like difficult for me to get the spin, and I know Austin
right now
goes thumb. Oh, and that one feels good. So in any case, we've been just, yeah. But usually like my more comfortable position is definitely inward.
Good fucking God. Thanks for that.
No, not anymore. This isn't Twitch. You don't get like anything for it. Any case, but we enjoy it.
Yeah, we enjoyed that thoroughly. Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out. I mean, you know, we've been grinding, especially towards the beginning when we first got it. You know, the hype is real, and we were stoked about the idea, the concept of bringing a podcast back into the kendama community. Super stoked. Still am very, very stoked.
Absolutely.
You know, the world turned to shit a few years ago, if you guys missed it. And it definitely took its toll on many people.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's, you know, some of the work that I did was before, you know, I was cut off and I had to find other things to do. So I decided, you know, in my age, family, looking at my life, and this is something that I think everyone's going to get to, where you're like, I'm tired of like working for somebody else.
Yeah. And which, yeah, it sucks.
In this day and age, there's so many avenues that people can take to promote themselves and the shit that they enjoy doing, they're passionate about. And I really feel that it is a place that can be ventured and that I want to venture. I want to try out. So I've been doing that in multiple different levels. All right. If you guys don't know, I do a English-focused YouTube channel for people here in Japan. Been doing that for the past 9 years. Podcasts, Instagram, YouTube is the main place where we do a lot of the shit. And that's been going, you know, 2 episodes every week we put out. We used to put out 3. It's a lot. And from that, I was able to build a small business. So I've been really focused on that. So that's like what I've been doing. That is one of the main reasons why I haven't been able to put so much time into editing and putting Dama Nerds episodes out. But we have them recorded. We have 3 recorded right now.
For like bang.
Working for Christmas should be. Don't mark me on that. But it should be coming out before Christmas. Hope
We're at Christmas. I'll bug his ass. We'll bug him. We'll get it going. But yeah, there's some good ones in the bag. If you're a Patreon, you already know who they are.
Yes.
And if you're not, then maybe you'll have to wait.
Go check it out.
I guess. Check it out. Look, if you got $1, maybe you can find out. But to answer Timmy Beans right here has got that question, what's your favorite player, Rod, right now?
Soccer player? The World Cup is finished.
No, that's not what I was thinking, but you know, that's a loaded ass question. I mean, but if I had to say one, if I got to be all top of my bone, top of the dome right now, top of my bone, I would have to say my favorite player who's been just fucking absolutely shredding lately that I see a lot on my feed, thanks to the fucking algorithm, is Shredwin. He's been on a motherfucking bender of kendama shit, as per usual, but like,
yeah,
good God. Lately has been a lot. Since he like joined 365, he's just been crushing game, and it's been a pleasure to watch. In the past, we were just talking about this earlier today. MJ asked me in one of the podcasts, who is someone that you kind of have your eyes on, someone that like really pops into your mind, and my answer was Mr. fucking Flux. Another one who has a lot of hype behind him right now. A lot of hype behind him. There's a lot of shit going on the origin story.
Totally.
There's a lot of little teasery things looking like there might maybe be a Mr. Flux mod going on. You know, like...
Why not? I don't think there are any mods for the Origins right now for the players.
I don't think there is, actually, that I know of. Maybe there is. The Euro shit gets kind of swept under the rug over in North America and Spain, I feel like.
Totally.
And I know Urk does a lot of like custom shit, but to my knowledge, I don't think there is a mod. I could very well be wrong about that, but yeah.
Everyone, you got the questions. I like it. It's awesome. But I think so, like, we want to like go through like conversations. We got a few things we want to hit. So definitely we'll have a Q&A towards the end when we finish up our beers. We got 5 beers. Already went through.
Yeah, we're down 2. So we're in Saitama in Kawagoe right now.
Use the question tool right there. Put in your questions and we get to them at the end so everyone can also see them. You know? I like to use that. But yeah, in Europe, like there's so much shit. I think like I totally want to go to Europe. Do you know where what it's like?
The Euro scene is just so popping, and like, you know, somebody in the comments just asked whether we like the new versus the old kind of stuff. I know you just said we were going to ask their questions, but it made pop into mine, and it's very relevant. I felt at the Euro events it was much more of the old school skis. Like when I was at Baguette Cup specifically, it really felt like I had time traveled back to like 2014, you know, and it was just this, I don't know I think it was just the fact that it was at like an indoor skate park, but it was in the back like yard, like they had this back like parking lot kind of thing with a mini ramp that people were seshing really fucking hard actually. There was some like really crazy scooter dudes and skaters just hitting it.
Okay.
And then they had the stage set up with some DJs who were just throwing down, and like we had like the fucking cypher on the stage where we just like got up there and did the shit while the DJ is going. You know, you get out, do a trick, and like hype the crowd up. The next person goes in, fucking hype the crowd up, and just, you know, old school vibes. Like, cause you know, you go to Catch and Flow, that doesn't happen. You go to KWC, that doesn't happen. You go to even like Battle at the Border, like and NAKO, like any of those big events, that kind of shit doesn't happen anymore.
Maybe like at the after parties or like side.
Yes, but it's not the same thing either, because like now it's such a big event that like you don't get everybody together to do something.
Okay.
If you do something like that, there's a small group of people doing it. Whereas like I'm thinking of like Dama Fest 2013, when, you know, when we first met the Chromies, and where there's the big freestyle cipher, and that was a huge moment that I think was a breakthrough moment, which we talked about in one of the unreleased episodes. That's you know, the Torquills bounce off the roof. Nobody had seen a pizza bounce before. All of a sudden, this motherfucking Ken is hitting the roof and coming back down, and he still spiked it.
Yeah.
We all lost our goddamn minds.
Ridiculous.
I might have pooped my pants a little bit. You know, like that was some real shit. And like that was a moment that like, you know, like people like hadn't seen that shit. And that was like why I think Torkild and like Chrome and Philip and everybody had that momentum, you know, it was like just that vibe. And they really just like brought that vibe. And that was the original Euro vibe, which I still believe still exists in Europe. I don't know why it is, but it's like this isolated like island of kendama. And it's kind of sick. I suggest that everybody go to EKC this year. If you can, make it to fucking Leiden. I believe it's going to be around the same time. I was talking to T.
Okay.
He has all this. He's already on it. Stay tuned for details.
Oh, word. He's going to do it again.
Oh, yes. And he did a good job last year. It was popping. And we all had a great time. And it's going to happen again this year.
Last time it was around Thanksgiving, right? I remember
Canadian or American Thanksgiving.
Oh, American. I remember specifically because they're like Sweets, like was like we're here like just for the event, and then they like had to go, like Matt had to leave like right away to get back together.
Because they literally the next morning, because it was the after event. So the event was at a club. So during the day we had the whole club where we set up the stage to the event, yada yada. They had the live stream up top. All that shit. And then it was like the event ran a little late. So it was like we got together with the bar staff who were like super dope. And they were like, yo, so once this ends, we have to do this, and this. So Tio got like a team of us together, and it was like, your job is this, your job is that. And then within like 5 minutes, we transformed the EKC venue back into a club. And just like, because there was a line of people outside waiting, you know, kind of thing. And it all happened, bang. And then boom, okay, it's the after party, and it was just like, holy shit, okay, we're partying, you know. And so like everybody's still there. Yeah, like and so Sweets and Cody, and Cooper were all leaving at 5 a.m. They had to leave the venue at 5 a.m. to get to the airport to catch their flight. So we all just fucking stayed at the club till 5 a.m. I mean, as is tradition, you know, we partied out at the event.
Yeah.
And it was a wild night, actually. It was really fun. So like the bar staff that we had helped was helping us, and they were really fucking cool. And after all that shit, they were just like, yo, like you guys are the shit for like helping us out, and like you guys like time. And they were all stoked, and they were like giving us free drinks, and I like gave the dude a Dama, and just the regular fucking kendama vibe shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was fucking crazy because like we just partied, and then it was just like, all right, put these guys in a taxi. I need to get in my own taxi and go fucking sleep.
So it's a long day. So it heralds back to the old party event vibes.
Yeah.
Of the early days of kendama, where now it's like it's a long
Space lab.
Mm-hmm. It's more. There's so many more people involved outside of like I guess I don't want to say core community because we're very welcoming overall.
I think the core community itself isn't growing. You know.
Yeah. You know, so I believe like that is one thing that is strong right now for the majority of people in playing kendama in Europe.
Mm-hmm. And that is like, I think, a huge difference between the old and new school kind of vibes is that it used to be this like, yeah, underground is a good word. It's still pretty underground, but it used to be more of a tight-knit community where it was like only so many people and you fucking know every person that's going to be there. Yeah, like there's no question.
Totally.
And if there's like a new person, everybody probably already has an idea who this person is or has heard of them or has seen a clip or something like that, you know, or they're just like a friend of a friend who just shows up.
It was like, it's like an awkward kind of like, almost like a high school reunion.
In a way, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, in a way.
But you didn't really know
it's like a high school reunion, but instead of high school, it's like, you know, we're all just fucking nerds on the internet. Just like fucking watching videos like fucking fiends, just like, oh, did you see that fucking loader? Holy shit, dude. Oh, spiked it, dude. But then like nowadays, there's just like so much more of a community. And like we've touched on this in past episodes as well, but like with the COVID babies was a good term that I forget who coined it. I think it was one of the soul guys.
It was one of the soul boys.
Anyways, fucking the COVID babies, all y'all that got into kendama over COVID, that's apparently what we're calling you now. But like with all the influx of those people coming in, it's just like coming to battle at the border last year was like, you know, I didn't know half the people in that room. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. You know, like, I don't get me wrong, I love it. And I'm not saying I like the old versus the new at all. I love the progression of it. And I like to watch, like, how this community is growing and how, like, the sport itself is growing, you know? And it's, like, really cool to just, like, have been a part of it from the beginning to be able to have that perspective for me. Because a lot of people don't have that. And that's why Damanerds is so sick, because I get to share that with all y'all. And a lot of people, like, from this new little COVID baby generation have talked to me and been like, oh, like, I appreciate Damanerds because, like, I get to learn about this history and all this culture and stuff. And, like, that fucking really, like, makes me feel so good about this because I'm like, I love sharing this shit. Like, I would, like, if we didn't have this shit on, me and MJ would still be sitting here having the same fucking conversation.
Exactly.
You know, like, totally. So, like, it's sick to be able to just share this shit with all of you people and like have people just be stoked on it. And like, thank you guys for fucking being a part of this because truly it's a beautiful thing.
You're nice. You're nice. Like, it is so dope. And like, again, looking at the title of this anniversary live, it's been, I believe, 4 years since we've started Damanerds. You know, it took a bit of time to figure out, like, what's the name going to be? What's the kind of style we're going to do it as? Or just like shoot shit. And like, that's all it was, like, towards the beginning. And I think I might even have on the computer, I might even have our first, like test reel that we did.
Oh, shit. Man. And like, at that time was like right when I had moved to Japan, when I was living at the Dama house in Matsumoto where Koda lives and like, doing all the Gloken tour stuff and all that, and MJ hit me up to do this, and so I had never done I never even listened to a podcast before.
You were mentioning that.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, what? And I'm like, I mean, I could talk about Dama all day, but I mean, I don't really know like what to fucking say, what not to say. And it's like, what it came down to is like, it doesn't fucking matter. If we're just gonna sit and nerd out about kendama, then let's just fucking nerd out about kendama. And so I was using fucking Zawa's microphone that he had in the Dama house, and I had my PC with me in Japan, of course, because I gotta play video games if I'm gonna be somewhere for a year, which I did, and we just started doing it, and here we are, fucking 4 years later.
Yeah. So I just found
You found it.
I found 7 test files, and 2 of them are like an hour long.
Oh, what?
Like, did we record full episode as a test?
No.
So a few of them. So this one's only 5 minutes.
What is it?
It might just be my side. Yeah,
It is just your side, yeah. Yeah, because we used to record ourselves separately and then fucking send it to each other, and we'd take turns editing it and then just edit it all together and make one big audio file to release.
and there's no video.
There was no video. Because, that was like kind of before Zoom was much more of a thing, and like all this was much more like built up. So it wasn't as easy to like have 2 people online conversing and also have a recording of it, Now it's like you push 3 buttons and we all have a Zoom account. It's like, oh, so-and-so invited you. Click, we're in, bang. And it's like, oh, you are being recorded, And
Yes.
so it's fucking easy now.
And everyone can enjoy it. And I remember like the first iteration of it, I was just on my iPad, just screen recording to make the video. When I was thinking, oh, maybe I can make a video. We were just chatting over Facebook Messenger because we could include, and that's when we had guests come on. That's all we used. And we would record separately. So we'd always have to tell our guests, like, okay, get in a quiet place. You need to get a mic, and make sure it's working well. Make sure you need headphones so you can hear us, because we don't want the feedback.
Yeah, that was always an issue too with guests. Would have someone come on and they'd be like talking and they'd be like all like, "You're kendama," and it was just like, fuck. Okay, whoa, you gotta get some headphones. Like kind of shit.
You could probably figure out like who those are. There's new AI audio mastering tools that I found that are amazing, and hopefully will smoothen out the editing process, because that's something usually that goes into it, where I will go through and make sure our audio will sound as good as it can, less echo and stuff, and with a good amount of like bass and good presence to it, so everyone can listen and enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
But here's an hour and 48 minute goddamn test episode. I think, and again, it's just me, I think.
Yeah, it must be. Because, like I said, we used to record it separately, so there's no way it's both of us, unless you edited it for no fucking reason. But... Otakus? Can you guys hear it? Anybody in the chat want to give me a hell yeah? If you can hear it? Maybe. If I get close.
Do it! Roll it! It's like... It's interesting how each player can give off that kind of vibe when they're...
That's so funny. What even were we talking about?
Yeah. The next one was Dama Jive. I was just wanting to like figure out like if we said any kind... I don't think there was even an intro that we had. I think we were just like...
No, that was like flushing
ideas.
Yeah. Sounds wild, but yep. Hell yeah.
Talking about jive turkey.
Jive turkeys. Yo, I'm gonna kind of interject real quick, because we were talking about drinking beers and shit, and we're fucking empty.
We're here so long. We got 5 beers.
Yeah, so I was mentioning that we are in Koedo. Kawagoe.
Koedo.
We're in Koedo. I'm an idiot. We're in
Kawagoe City, which was a big kind of like hub city for... it's connected to the Sumidagawa, the main river. Or no, not Sumidagawa. A different river I can't think of right now. But it goes all the way to Tokyo. So this is like inland in Japan. So I'm like an hour away from Tokyo area. So a lot of people would be taking boats and bringing like goods over to Kawagoe. And so it's kind of a hub city. And now there's a lot of still old buildings, like super old ass buildings, guys, that are still here. So when you go to the old part of town, it looks like it's preserved well. It looks like an old Edo, right? Edo being the original capital city of Japan. You know, at first it was Kyoto, and then they moved it up to Tokyo, and they called Tokyo Edo, right? So Koedo means the small Edo, the small capital. So it has that vibe to it, and they have an awesome microbrewery.
And we're already too deep on these. We found new ones that MJ also had never seen before.
We found 2 at the beginning, and then I walk in, I was like, dude, there's 3 more.
Yeah, so we just got them all so we can test them out. And so, yeah, you guys can have a quick look at these labels. They're kind of sick. So this one's a collaboration with a Taiwanese brewery. It's like a kumquat pale ale or some shit.
Yeah.
10 spice ale.
Yeah, definitely the spice with the kumquat.
Yeah. And then what was this one? This one's the session ale, which was like yuzu,
the citrus
ale.
Fruit special to Japan. It's a mix between a lemon and a lime. It's like a strong lemon.
And this is a collaboration with Koedo and Brutus, which is like a magazine.
Yes, fashion magazine, men's fashion magazine.
Very interesting. I don't know what business they have.
Luckily,
beer, but they did good.
Taste like beer.
It didn't taste like a magazine.
It didn't taste like a magazine. Okay. And then we got 3 more. The Natsuhate is our next Koedo collab. Koedo's been doing awesome stuff. Probably not so well known overseas yet, but this is another fruit style ale. So we're starting with the fruit. Let's crack that open. Little
Croatia love.
Oh yeah, 3rd place. We fucking made it.
How do you say that in Croatian?
What?
Croatia love.
Oh, I don't know. Igraj moj Hrvatska, maybe? Like,
better guess than I would have had.
Like, Igraj is like, let's go. That's like, let's go, Croatia.
Ah, okay.
Hrvatska is Croatia.
Hrvatska.
Hrvatska. Yeah, Hrvatski is Croatian. Hrvatska is Croatia.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, if you didn't know, MJ's dad is Croatian. So he's got it's in the veins over here.
Blood.
Hells yeah.
I'm a big fan of, like, I love my roots. My dad's from Croatia. My mother's from Peru, South America. Very interesting mix. Grew up in the U.S. Now I'm over here in Japan. And I always loved, like, the roots behind people and stuff. So I always had like, when I was doing, like, shotgun interviews, maybe you might know, on the Kendertainment YouTube channel, I ask a few people, like, what's your background? What's your ethnicity? And I don't want to be like, I after the fact of putting a few out, I was like, I wonder if people think this is like segregating in a way, you know? It's a little touchy-feely in this generations, you know?
And also, like, I think a lot of, like, Americans, like North Americans especially, don't really even know, you know? Unless you, like, proudly, like, have a family that, like, is like, no, we are Croatian, or we are that, you know? And then unless you have that, you don't really know, you know? Like,
exactly.
Like I'm Canadian, you know, I have, like, German blood in me, I have English blood in me, and stuff like that, but, like...
Prost?
Yeah, prost. But, that one's nice. It's like that might be my favorite one yet, actually.
Pear?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
pear. They're candy-ish. This is a fruit ale.
If only they had, like, tastes on live stream, you know? That would be nice.
Yeah.
But...
In another...
I guess you guys will have to
come 5 years, 10 years?
To little Koedo yourselves. So I wasn't wrong when I said we're in Koedo.
I mean, not entirely. Technically, no.
Depends on which area you're talking.
Exactly. So any case, so that's why I would ask that question, because I feel it's, like, cool to make a connection, because I know, like, when I hear that someone else is from Croatia, I'm like, fuck yeah, like,
yeah, you got that little
crow
insider info.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
It for me, it goes hand in hand to, like, when you hear a skateboard down the street and you're like, someone's skateboarding, like, same with anyone here right now on these Damanerds joining us. No, when you have a kendama and you see somebody sesh a Dama or have one around their neck.
Oh yeah, and you see someone on the street like a Dama, you're for sure gonna go and, like,
of course,
what's up, nerd?
Say what's up. Nerd the night, 100%. So, fuck, it's been 4 years.
4 years of nerding out.
Our first episode actually technically went out in January, recorded December. I specifically remember. We were doing those probably test episodes in November.
Yes.
I believe.
That makes sense. Because we didn't do it before...
Oh, yes.
Which is New Year's Eve. Kohaku Utagassen is the name of that big New Year's Eve show that happens every year in Japan, where they have all of the Japanese like famous artists get on there and do
musical artists.
A fan. And one of them would be Miyama Hiroshi, who is a very famous Japanese folk singer, and he loves kendama. So he works with Gloken every year to do the Guinness World Record live on stage every year.
Yeah.
And every year they add it up, one number, one more. So it's just like, oh, they just want, they don't like, they want to elongate it as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing, man. Like I did it that year, and there was, I think it was 2 or 3 days before. Can't remember. I think maybe only 2. Either way, it was 2 days. We're all just in a room.
Yeah.
Like working on the choreography of walking in, which spot is yours, what number you are, and then just practicing fucking big cup, and only big cup for 2 days. And the biggest thing about that was that there was extra people. So there was, I think the year I did it, the number was 125 that they were going for.
Yeah.
But there was actually like 180 people on hand or something like that. So those extra people didn't get to be a part of the actual world record.
Why?
And because there's too many, you just can't, right? But there was that many people willing to be involved. So what happened was during the practice, if you missed the big cup, you're out. Somebody else takes your spot. Yes. And in order to get into that spot, they did a spike off essentially, where it was just big cup ball, big cup. That took fucking half a day, you know. And then it was like it got to the point where it was like big cup. Okay, we're gonna do spike. And then we did spike, and then a bunch of people, man, some people were pissed off because it was like, yo, it's not about spike, it's about big cup. But it was like, you have to like somehow fucking figure this out.
You got to cut people. You got to cut people some way.
And we need to.
You can't just be like,
shit. Yeah, you can't. You're out pick like based on, you know, like, well, you're wearing blue. I don't like blue. Get the fuck out of here. You know, like,
I don't know you so well.
And the funny part about it was that, like, for me, being the foreigner guy, being in there, was that, like, I didn't know any of these famous people. You know, I don't fucking know. And so I'm just like walking around, just being raw and being like, hey, mate, what's up? What's gonna, you know, like whatever to these random people. And people are like, here's this pot for them. Like, holy shit, you know, it's like if you walk over to fucking The Rock or like Vin Diesel or someone, and people would be weird about it. Yes, yeah, exactly.
But the high five?
Yeah, exactly, right? And it was super funny. And being the only foreigner in there was really funny. And just to like be a part of our guy just smash was really great. Unfortunately, I'm really close, but I don't get to be a part of it this year because when I booked my flight, I booked it for the 28th, which was like the cheaper day. And flights are fucking expensive right now because of the whole COVID bullshit.
Yep.
And so
that's why a few people couldn't make it. Hatch influence.
And I hadn't spoke to Motsu or anybody at Gloken about Kohaku or anything like that. So I was sort of like, I wasn't gonna just assume and just like stay for New Year's. So I was like, fuck it, I'll come home for New Year's and hang with the homies kind of thing. But being here, I'm like, of course, like, fuck, I don't want to go home. I want to be in fucking Japan. I want to do Kohaku. I want to do all this shit.
I don't want to leave.
And yeah, and I'm like, fuck. So like, I literally tried to change my flight. I went and talked to them, and lo and behold, I didn't pay for the extra insurance, and so fucking it's non-refundable, and I can't fucking change my flight. So I'm not gonna do this year. That sucks so much. But I got to do it. But at the same time, I was kind of, at first too, I was like, I don't really want to do it because I've gotten to do it already. I don't want to take someone else's spot. Because there was, like I was saying, there was all those extra people that wanted to be a part of it, but couldn't. So I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm Rod, fucking let me do it. You know, like fucking like. So I just fucking wanted to just, you know, also just take a step back and let other people have a part of it. As much as I wanted to.
Those people who couldn't make it, did they still stay? Like the practices and stuff
were around because if you missed, they took your fucking spot. So yeah, they were around.
Oh wow!
And in the end, was it
interchangeable?
Yeah, in a way, yes. Like to a point, yes.
If you missed during a practice, if you missed and you got put out, and then more practices happen throughout the day, and plenty of people get out, would you come back into line where hey, you're in now?
Potentially, but not that many people were missing, so it was a rare thing.
And they give you kendama. You got a special kendama.
We all got
Yamakata Kobo.
Yes, or a reshape.
So it wasn't the children's old people.
No,
olds one.
No, it's not that one. It might as well be. And the reshape is like a fucking couple millimeters off. But yeah, and it was kind of funny because what ended up happening was like from the practice space to the actual stage, we had to move between buildings, so we had to go outside. and it's fucking winter. And yeah, it's Tokyo, so it's not like Canada winter, but it's fucking winter.
So cold as shit.
So everybody's got their jacket on and shit, right? And so you go. So they had like a team of people that came and took our jackets and like hung onto them and shit for us while we were doing the thing. And you know, like we fucking did it. And like the reason it's so strict is because there's a lot of fucking money riding on this also, you know, like they pay, I don't know the numbers, but they pay a lot of money for the fucking Guinness official to come out just to fucking say yes or no.
Yeah.
They also are paying to be a part of Kohaku, like this big, it's literally the biggest show in all of Japan for all year.
So in Japan, there's two New Year's shows that you can choose and you can watch. One is Utagassen, which is grabbing all of like the through history, like top musical artists as well as recent artists, and they divide them into two teams, a red team and a white team. This goes to the culture in Japan of field days being sports days, and in the schools, all the kids are divided into two teams, and they do different athletic events, and whoever has the highest score at the end wins the shit, right?
I did not know this about this.
Sioux Lab did an event. They did annual events, and they did a kendama version of this.
Okay.
I got a special I was a part of a white team.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
I was a part of the white team. It was look at all that dust and shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that feel that. This is talking about that stick.
Oh,
That's a stick.
I'm either Spider-Man or that is the grossest tongue I have ever touched.
Stick. So I was on the Zumadanke easy side, white team, Zumadanke, you can't really see it, Sioux Lab, and they did a version of it, so it was super cool. But yeah, so Utagassen is an audio. Come on, Debs. And people who are watching it, you know, on their TV, I don't know, like, can you understand some shit? Like, you just vote. You can, yeah, there's buttons that you can like get to like a digital.
Itself?
Yeah, there's, you know, okay. What? I've been here a long time. So it's like, it's a digital button that you hit, and it's like, you're not connected to Wi-Fi or anything. It's just all through the TV antenna, and you can vote for whatever. So at the end of it, you know, you can vote for your teams and whatnot. So there's that. Okay.
Shit.
I was never a fan of that because I don't listen to any shit music because I'm elite. Because fuck elite, damn it. So, come on, look at this smash. So,
Not what I meant, but
yeah, and just like all that pop music, like, come on, like, no. That is not the one that I would watch. There's the second one that people watch during New Year's, right? In Canada, what do you watch? You watch nothing.
I mean, just, you know, with the homies, and I usually go to a show, honestly.
Okay, there you go. Just put on TV, watching TV and stuff, right?
I guess with the family, there's like, you know, I think even in Canada, like the New York City ball drop is a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
But there's also Canadian versions. You know, it's like watching they do it like an auto. Yeah, watch they drop the beaver, and the beaver drops the log, fucking breaks the dam, lets the fucking shit go. You know, fucking let her back on.
Oh, bring it right. So yeah,
but yeah, I truthfully I don't really watch TV. I watch a lot of like anime. I watch a lot of like the shit that's online. But the whole TV.
But during yes. So during it. So in Japan, it's like you either watch this, like, of course, all the other TV programs are trying to do something, but people are watching two main channels. It's either NHK showing this battle of different popular artists and songs, or it is the comedy downtown group that gets together and they have the Gaketsukai Warache Ikenai. Did you watch? No, and you could not watch this because you were busy spending the whole day waiting in a weight room, big cupping. So it is the funniest shit. You could probably find it online too, and it's a group of comedians, top comedians in Japan, that they get put through like a full day's worth, it's a single day worth of putting them through the craziest situations, and the producers will hire other actors and comedians to be a part of it, do skits in front of them to try to make them laugh. If they laugh, there's an announcement that comes up, be like whoever, like, Rod, you're out. And like, there's a team, there's like putting patrol, fucking the foot that come out. and they have this like soft kind of rubber, like what is it called that the dills have, like UK police? What is it called? Like
A dildo.
no, they have a
nightstick.
a nightstick almost, but it's like soft, like a pool noodle almost, a little more, and they whap them on the butt
Nice.
throughout the whole day, and at the end, whoever has the most is the loser. So they're putting them through the funniest situations that the producers can think of. They have no idea what's gonna happen, and they have to not laugh. So that's the option, and of course,
That's great.
that's the option I go for.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I'll flick back over to the Utagasen to see if the Kendama heroes are challenging the big cup or not. That's the shinfo behind that.
Damn.
It's super good. You could probably find it online.
That's pretty.
I don't know how you would search it in like on YouTube in English. Maybe
Even
like
like the Kohaku thing. And
maybe it's like you laugh, you're out. Like you laugh, you get hit in the butt or something.
there's a lot of TV shows like that in Japan, though. Like one of my favorite Japanese TV shows, Freeze, where like all these people did this weird shit, and then like they're in a room and you never know what's gonna happen. They're all sitting there, and then a voice would come out and say freeze, and they have to stop moving. And then they would do some weird shit. Like there was like a part where a drone comes in with a fucking knife attached to it, and they would bring it right into the person's face and shit. I was talking about this recently. I think maybe with the Soul guys.
Oh,
I mean, was it on that fucking episode, or was I just talking about it? I don't remember. Anyway, look, and it's funny shit. Anyway, same kind of thing. And if you laugh, you move, you're fucking out, kind of thing. So there's a lot of like Japanese TV like that. So you might not find that specific thing, but there is a lot of shit like that. Japanese TV is on another level. It's very different. But yeah, it's an interesting time of year, you know. Like we got the Nerds episode, or the Nerds anniversary. Sorry, we got fucking Kohaku Utagasen going for that one up in the Guinness World Record. You know, but we have just had Catch Flow. There's a lot of things going on in the kendama world. A lot of like fucking hype behind Mr. Flox. Maybe a little teaser for a mod. There's like all sorts of shit like that going on.
stuff coming back. Other people again.
Other mods as well, you know, like, I mean, I'm cushion mods right here that I'm pretty sure they're still on the site if you're looking for one of those, despite how bad my whirlwind check was earlier.
Nothing to do with how grippy a kendama is.
Yeah, of course not. That's all the user error.
It's so much shit. So much shit.
And we kind of said this earlier, but if any of you nerds are in here and you're one question, hit up that question button right about behind the nice kendama right there, right from there. And put your question in there, because we're going to do a little Q&A at the end rather than, you know, doing all this shit. We're trying to keep the flow of the conversation going.
Exactly.
We're catching, we're flowing, we're spiking hard, we're catching low. We're getting beers in us, we're getting them into the glasses. And dude, we got Dubs on my lap over here fucking chilling. If you ever heard in the Nerds episodes, you hear that fucking in the background, that's just...
It's Dubs. It's Dubs. There she goes. I always thought like in some manifestation that there should be a freestyle type of competition, if it's in person or like video or something, that is like fully like Dave Mateo memorial event. The competition.
Yeah, actually.
Like, I don't know who would put it together. Of course, like, you know, you'd have someone have to get the agreement. In Japan, we said the hanko, the official stamp to say okay from the family. What if they? Yeah. But that is something where I was like, man, like, every time I see any kind of like freestyle competition, of course, catch and flow as well. Like,
there's got when there's stuff freestyle kendama, you can't not think of Dave Mateo.
It's got to be a Dave Mateo like award. Or something.
Yeah. And but yeah, that's interesting though, because like, yeah, that brings up the question of like who would decide that, you know, like,
right,
how do you do that?
No one.
Good way.
Yes. No one has like any ownership of that. Of course, maybe Kusa would be the one people think about.
Up with that, yeah, for sure.
of course. But then I also kind of feel like it's dope how, like, you know, Catch and Flow, and same with Kendama World Cup, they're not companies, like, they're not like specifically like selling kendama retail kind of companies.
No.
Right?
It's a board of people who are just putting on this event.
Yeah. Which doesn't happen in the States. There's no one.
No, that's true, actually. In the States, it's all company run.
Who decide to take upon themselves, like, I'm going to make an event.
Yeah.
And then it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, what we see.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, that being said, like, there is the main company who does it, but every other company does get to sponsor. And it's not like they're, like, you know, not taking input from other people either. So even though there isn't an official board, there is, like, a bit of an influence from everybody within it, you know? So it's just a different vibe, you know? It's like we're talking about the Euro vibe, the North American vibe, the Japan vibe of the kendama scenes in general. And, like, that's a part of it as well, I think, just the way things are done.
Yeah. Of course, there's so much history with kendama in Japan. You know, there's a JKA, Japanese Kendama Association, for everyone out there, Nihon Kendama Kyokai, and they are, like, the main OGs of everything kendama in Japan. And I felt like the question I popped into my mind was, like, who organized Dama Fest in 2014? 12?
That was a Kendama USA event.
Right?
Yep. It was not like Kendama USA Dama Fest.
Yeah.
It's just Dama.
It was just Dama Fest.
But it was kind of what made it so sick, because back then it was just about kendama. It wasn't like, I mean, yeah, we're all selling kendamas, and we all stop.
Where did that go?
We're gonna have to get Jero on here and ask him,
because I feel like that is, like, one thing, and especially now that we see, you know, Sweets murdering in that field of just getting new people on to kendama, if it's going to be throughout or from the Sweets mob, or being on Twitch all the time doing live streams talking about kendama, or just being on, you know, in a viral level of making content all over the place, just like again, murdering, taking over. And then this is the only reason why it's like totally Kusa was, I feel, when I was getting into kendama, like, looking at it, like, from Japan, I saw Kusa as, like, the head honcho.
Yeah.
They were in charge.
For a long time, they were.
And they were, totally.
Like, before Sweets even started, Kusa was a thing, right?
Yes.
So it made sense for that Kusa had the momentum. They had that place.
Yes. They're their first, they made their footprints. You know.
Not to say that they don't have a place like that now.
Of course.
There's just a lot more competition for that spot. So it's a little bit of a give and take. And like you said, Sweets has been doing a lot. Like, a lot of different avenues to fucking make shit happen. And it's
so amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like, we love to see it.
If you like Kush or not, like, you gotta respect that hard-ass work that they've been putting all over the place.
And I mean, we all love Kush. Fucking every company has done a fucking Kush collab at this point.
Yeah.
So that goes to show that, like, you know, they're doing something good at least, you know. It's not even just the spreading kendama, it's like spreading, like making kendamas themselves better as well, you know, because, like, once that came out, everybody kind of felt that and saw that, and it was like the next iteration of, like, what mash paint was when Sour Mash came out, you know, except that it was more accepted. Because when mash paint came out, we were all in the JKA mindset, and we were all just like fuck that sticky shit. You did that lunar on a mash paint, like, that ain't a lunar, dude. That's a fucking heater lunar, you know, like. It's like, you take the training wheels off, dude, and do a fucking lunar, you know?
Yeah.
But after that, once we all fucking smartened the fuck up and made harder tricks that were, like, worth doing on sticky paint, then it was like, okay, now let's make sticky paint.
Right? Yeah. It's pretty crazy to think about, like, how it was just, like, taking what was shit, not, like, super shitty, but it's like not low quality. Quality was there. If you're using, like, you know, an Ozora and stuff, quality was there. But it's like the tricks that you could do and couldn't do were so different just from like there were a few tweaks away from spending an hour on it to spending like 15 minutes.
That's what I was going to say, is that it just meant that you had to grind that much harder to get it that much more perfectly aligned and get it to actually fucking sit right there. Not here. You're right. It was like a much more of a precise thing. And even like, like the old Azoras, like before they changed the whole like lead paint fiasco thing. Like you could take that shit and you could rub, this was the cheat code back then, and you would fucking rub the Dama onto the cup and that paint would come off onto the cup and it would just become basically what this is now. Almost.
No,
At that time. Yeah.
at the time.
And then you had to do it again. It was like chalking your cue playing pool.
All right.
Yeah, it literally did that. And that was like the cheat code for loons back in the day on Azoras.
But it wasn't like a grip. Like,
Oh, it was grip.
really?
Dude, go grab a fucking old school Azora if you have one and try it, right? You got one?
Did I fucking
Of course you got one. Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, you used to be able to do it where, like, if you pushed and did it, it would just stay there and you could just fucking lunar eclipse that shit. It was like a whole thing. So but that again, was a bit of a thing. Oh, you got a little mash painting? Is that what that is?
Wow.
Oh, what the fuck? Two-sided mash painting? What the shit? How did I not see this earlier?
Because I didn't have it earlier.
Speaking of Sourman, shout out Sourman.
Because
the dope art. Oh,
Sue gifted that to me.
what?
From his.
This is fucking sick. You got the Doctor on this side. And then what is this? Some unicorn. 3, 2... A unicorn, babe? 3 o'clock. Some tea. Some coffee shit. I have some mash art in my house, and he's always got the tea vibe, the coffee vibes. It's fucking beauty. This is sick. Oh, dude, that notch in the big cup, that was like, I knew some people who like didn't have kendamas without that.
Oh, the notch in the big cup, totally.
If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it was basically you'd cut a notch in the bottom of your big cup right here so that you could hook your string and hang it straight. So rather than getting that little spin when you pull up a lunar, you just had it hanging there and you just pull it up like so. Yeah. Oh, the ocean green of all. It's gonna like put a mark on it.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, but if you, it's gonna mark it.
Really?
You gotta actually like do it.
Like hard.
Yeah, I don't want you to fuck your OG green up if you don't have to.
Like, look how tiny that cup is.
Dude, it's tiny as fuck. Okay, we were grinding back in the day.
Cause yeah, it feels like a Gloken Muso, Mugen. You know when he repainted?
Yeah.
And it's like those aren't sticky at all. You gotta really fucking jam it in.
You do, dude. I mean, I can hear it. It's doing it. Yeah.
I could hear it a little bit, yeah. But still,
But I don't not. Yeah, I know you don't want to fuck up your OG green.
no, I don't.
If I had mine, I would do it. I mean, this one's sick though. You got some kanji written in there. Look at this bad boy.
Oh, dude, yeah. That was done by what's his name?
Oh, this is
Hey, you're so good with. You're talking to me about how like you don't remember names. Yes.
Yeah.
You remember names.
Yareba dekiru kendama no waza. Damn, that's fucking hype. And yo, just for reference, let's have a quick little side by side. My big cup right now versus Ozora big cup.
And what's the Ozora big cup and your
My small cup is bigger. My base cup is almost that big. And I have a small base cup compared to most modern kendamas.
Oh yeah,
I do. Damn.
because usually traditionally it's like the base cup and the small cup are the same size.
No, small cup was always the smallest one.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Is that the same shit?
This is an Ozora.
Is it?
Yep.
Yes. No smaller.
Oh shit.
Just a wee bit. So like if I go edge to edge, you can kind of see the top edge sits that much higher. If I could stop fucking moving it, there we go.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, the good old Ozora days, man. I'm not gonna lie, part of me does really miss those days. It was just something very special, There was
Good.
this new energy about it, this brand new world that was just opening up that none of us had ever seen before. The world had never seen before. And we were all just lucky enough to be a part of that and to be there at the right time. And yeah, I couldn't be happier that I was a part of that, to be honest.
No.
But like I said before, it's also beautiful to see the progression, to see where we're at now. Because back in the day, we would always talk about it. We'd speculate, like, oh, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I even had a dream once. I don't know if I've ever brought this up on the podcast. I had a dream journal where I wrote this dream down, where I actually had a dream that I was at a party and everybody had kendamas. And I couldn't believe it. At this time, there was like, there was maybe like 50 people that outside of Japan that were playing kendama. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I'm being generous. And in my dream, I was at this house party and there was like all these people that I now know. And like, I mean, in my dream, I knew a lot of them at the time. And like, I remember Alyssa and Matt Dakota being there. I remember Trevor Starnes and Colin Sander being there and Zach Yord.
Kusa. See, Kusa was all over this. I think that was another reason why it's like they were so strong. Their team was strong. It's like,
I don't remember who else was in the dream, but I remember being at this party and everybody had a kendama and I was blown away. And I remember specifically that somebody had an all-white plastic Dama, which now I recognize as the Kendalix massive plastic.
oh man.
And I'm like, you know,
Sure it wasn't
to this day,
You sure it wasn't the
still one of my favorite Kendamas.
You sure it wasn't the 100 yen?
The 100 yen shitty plastic.
Shitty plastics?
Fuck, I hope it wasn't this one. No, fuck this. The monochrome Kendama. What is this thing?
Monochrome.
Because there's a black one. Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose your color. Black, white, monochrome.
Or you can buy both and switch them up.
Switch them. Yeah, I mean, the shape isn't actually bad.
It's not good either. It's not. It's an door shape. It's actually like, you're right. For $1, it's pretty on point.
Compared to the other stuff you can see at the dollar store.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at the old shops in Kawagoe today, and they had a whole bunch of kendamas and stuff in the one, and they had this one that had a kayaki tama that looked really sick, but the ken is just like, I've never seen cupping on it so thick.
I should have got it.
We'll go back tomorrow. It'll still be there. And it was like $15, and it was just like
15.
fatty. Not in big cups, but like the edges were like, is a chonker. Like you can use this thing as a hammer.
Like for any anime fans out there, it was an SD Dama, but not short. It was still long.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to have to go get that tomorrow, I think. Maybe have a quick little sesh before I head back to Tokyo. Because, yeah, tomorrow I'm only here for one night hanging out with MJ. I was lucky enough to have some time to come hang out with the boy, get this little session. We got some filming in today.
Exactly.
Fun stuff with the kiddos. And we had some nice dinner and all that good stuff. We got all this Kowedo beer to drink.
Dude.
And tomorrow, I'm lucky enough to be invited to the end of the year party for 430 Decade with Nobu.
Which is wild.
In Japanese, they call it the Bonnen Kai. And I actually, like, the last bunch of years after Catch and Flow, I've been lucky enough to go to those. And it's always this crazy time.
The Bonekai, so, like, yeah, in Japan, like, it's all about, like, drinking culture is pretty strong here. Like,
Too strong.
it is too strong. It's like, the alcoholics, seriously, I don't even think they have AA here, because, come on, dude, you don't go to North America or any other country, well, maybe you do. You don't, like, but compared to Japan, to see grown-ass men who shouldn't be just lying on the street.
That is the thing. The thing about that is that it's from Asia thing. And in all honesty, Korea is worse.
Okay.
Korea is much worse. In Korea, blackouts is, I think, a website. It might be an Instagram as well. There's also, like, Shibuya Meltdown is a great one.
Tokyo.
But it's fucking gnarly because the people in Asia, like, they love to drink, but I feel like their DNA does not mix well with the alcohol.
It doesn't. It's proven fact. You know how, like, some, probably you know a lot more. So if you drink with a few friends that are Asian descent, they might get red face.
Like Kelvin Wong.
They get red face. There is Kelvin, love you, bud. There is a gene in the Asian cultural people that doesn't cope well with alcohol. Therefore, their faces turn red. And it's not everybody. And usually people that turn red, it looks like they are, like, they can't handle their beer, but it's actually just a reaction. It's like an allergic reaction.
Yeah. But it's not only that though. Like I really do feel like they just aren't as like they don't have as much of a tolerance. Because like I've drank so much with Japanese people, and like most of the time it's great, and like we're all good. But there's a lot more, like you said, of these people in the streets all fucked up and whatever. But if you go to like Europe, like when I was in Germany,
I don't know. Is that the 2 cup?
oh, the smile from the down, that's pretty nice actually. Damn, I wish it was.
We got a nice coffee beer coming in. Where's Adam? Where's Adam?
Where is Adam? But yeah, so like when I was just in Europe, like in Germany, and I thought I could drink. And then I hung out with the Germans. Good God, dude, they fucked me up.
Well, as well as like their beer. I mean, their beer is made for drinking a lot.
We weren't even drinking only beer. It was the Pfeffi. The whole I was hanging out, we were drinking the Pfeffi, which is fucking peppermint schnapps.
Oh no, danger.
Oh, dude, it was so dangerous. We were drinking like whole bottles in a couple hours between like 3-4 of us, and then like and then like it's only 3 a.m. Let's get another Pfeffi, fuck it.
Oh man.
And then get up and do the same shit. I mean, it's who cares?
It doesn't matter if you're strong or not drinking alcohol. If you enjoy it, then enjoy drinking alcohol. Here we go. A nice
Enjoy, as they say, enjoy responsibly.
everything in moderation.
Know your limits. Your limits. Sorry, I just turned into Chevy Chase from what's that golf movie? Caddyshack.
Yep. This is a dope one. Koido, local microbrewery here in Cowboy, Saitama. Also, as well as a collab. All of them are collabs. This is a collab with Horiguchi, which is a Tokyo roaster.
I think roastery.
And they found the best like matching bean for the beer. It is so fucking good.
Smells nice.
I've had a few different coffee beers before, like stouts, and like I'm not a stout or into that, but like mostly dark beers. So I took a sip already, but cheers. This guy is so good. So
as they say in Okinawa, it's kari. Kari.
Oh,
They don't say kampai, they say kari. Okinawa is fucking. So I was just in Okinawa. Lucky.
Okinawa is not Japan.
It's a part of Japan. It's actually recently
Not before.
back a part of Japan. Because America kind of took that shit over after the war, and that's why there's so many American naval bases all over it and air bases and shit. That's a whole bunch of shit we don't have to get into. I was just lucky enough to go to Okinawa. Yeah.
The Ryukyu people.
Yeah. And Okinawa is like a special place because it has its own culture, and it's really fun.
It's like Hawaii in the U.S.
It is. I refer to it as the Hawaii of Japan.
Yeah.
Straight up. And so this was my 3rd time I got to go there with Gloken to do these events and stuff with like the homie Taki-san. And he has this, he has this after school care house where it's called gakudo in Japanese.
Yep.
So it's like after school care. And it's this big ass fucking treehouse kind of looking thing, like a log cabin almost.
Oh, okay.
And it's like 2.5 stories kind of thing. And there's this massive pillar that's just solid wood that's probably like, I want to say 2 foot by 2 foot wide, like, and just like goes all the way through. And around that, through the floor, there's like these segmented little things that you can pick up, and then they have ropes so you can climb up and down. And then you go up there, and there's like an upper floor within that upper floor that you just have to climb to. And so the kids just take their shoes and socks off. They don't have shoes on anyway inside in Japan.
Yep.
They take their socks off and then just fucking Spider-Man up that shit between the fucking 2 pillars. And dude, it's fucking sick.
Okay.
This shit would never fly in America. Not a fucking chance. There'd be one kid would fall a little bit and there'd be fucking 32 fucking lawsuits and Karen would lose her goddamn mind. But luckily in Japan, they'd trust their kids and they teach them, I guess. I don't know what the difference is, but it's fucking beautiful. And anyway, so we got to go out there and then like, the first night we were there, of course, we were out at the izakaya and we were drinking. Awamori is like an Okinawan alcohol. It's kind of like sake, but it's like a little bit different. And it's more like on the sochu side of alcohol.
Right.
But it's like, it slaps. It's good. Anyways, we're drinking a budge. We come back and it's the first time in this house. And I'm like, oh, give me the rope. Like, wow, going up there. And then we got up and we got on the roof. And so, like, I posted today a bunch of pictures and shit. So if you look on my Instagram, you can see a picture of us out on the roof. And we all look like ghosts, and I'm like this up on the roof. And fucking, we broke the window going out there apparently. So when we came back in, we couldn't close it. We're like,
Oh, okay, that kind
and fucking Tucky is just like, fine, we'll fix it tomorrow. Fucking, and then, you know, and then the next day it was just sideways rain. And it was like, it was, luckily it wasn't on the side where the rain was hitting. So it wasn't like coming in, but it was splashing in a little bit. It was kind of like one of those,
shit.
That's okay. Yeah, figure it out.
But fixable.
And this is like, you know, we're talking about the difference between the Euro scene, the Japan scene, the North American scene. So in Okinawa, we got to do, at that gakudo, at the after-school care spot, we got to do some showcase kind of things with the kids. We just hung out with them.
Yeah.
Played all these card games, you know, like with like little monsters on them. I can't remember the name of it in Japanese. But
Kabuta? It wasn't? I mean, you smack the cards when the kids read. Someone reads like...
I did play that. Yeah, there's like a letter on it, and it's and they like...
And they have to look really quickly.
Yeah.
Smack
I did play that, and those kids fucked me up in it. I got like 3 points, though. It's not bad for a gaijin.
Yeah.
But anyway, we played this other game with like monsters, and every time a new monster comes up, you have to give them a name.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. When you see the monster, you have to say the name and grab the card first, and then you get a point from the card.
Okay.
We were doing that. We did some kendama performances. Like Chad posted a thing today, actually doing the 5 spike with all the kids and stuff, and I'm in the background with an Afghan going like, what are you doing with it? That was at the gakudo at it's called Lekimoki.
Okay.
Which I believe is Swedish for kids' house or something like that.
All right.
Somebody correct me if you know Swedish, please.
Yeah.
But that's what they call it anyway. The Instagram that they have is Lekimoki, like LEKKI.MOKKI.
Sounds Scandinavian.
Yeah. And so we got to do that. We got to do Taki-san had like a Christmas event for like all the elementary school kids. I was about to say shogakos, like my brain's in Japanese mode a little bit right now.
Switches.
So we got to do that, and me and Chad got to dress up as Santa Claus. So we came out on stage with a bag of fucking like of gifts over the shoulder, and kaiju's just doing moshikami, just
So random. Santa knows kendama.
Yeah, dude, we did number 2, and yeah, of course there's 2, and then we fucking were giving the kids presents, and they all met us the day before, so they're all like, "You're not Santa. You're not Santa." And I'm like, Homono Santa dayo. Like, and homono means real. So I'm like, I'm the real Santa. And you know. And then like pointing at my ears and being like, see, look, you're not Santa, you're Rod. I'm like, no, I don't know who Rod is. You know, shit like that. Oh, dude, it was so fun. It was super fun.
Get the dreaded concho.
It was great. Yeah, the dreaded concho. Oh no, I did not get the concho.
Okay, good.
The concho. Fuck. If you guys don't know what that is, it's the fucking right in the butthole.
Butthole.
Japanese kids, man. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. They do that right in the pooper, and it's fucking. It's one of those cultural things that I just don't get. You know, I don't know. It's funny, but you know. It's one of those things. So we got to do that, and then we had the actual event with like the glow can thing where we had like the kendama kente stuff. We all did performances. We did all that shit, and it was fucking so nice. And it just brought me back to like the year that I lived here when I was traveling around Japan doing all these events, and it was just like that. And like it's my favorite type of kendama event in performance wise, just because there's no pressure. What it is you just get up there and you just fucking have fun, you know, and you just like, cause a lot of these people were like, they had never played kendama before, even though they're Japanese, they don't know, like, Tomosu would ask, and like, is there anybody who's like new to kendama? And a bunch of people put up their hands, and a lot of them were like little kids, you know, so that's probably why. But like, they come in and they have no expectations. They're like, you catch the big cup and they're like, oh, it's a good, you know, like, and you're like, fuck, like, okay, so do you want to see a trick? Right?
Yeah.
So like when they see like all of us nerds up there like doing moon circles and like Kelvin's doing wong taps and fucking Misu fucking surprised us and showed up. That sneaky little fucker.
No way. It was not planned.
Yeah, Misu and her mom Mia came out and just like I heard them talking about it the day before. Taki slipped up a little bit. So I was like, and then she showed up and I was just like, Misu's here.
That's like dope.
Yeah. So like we had like a whole bunch of fucking like gnarly playing. Noah was there. Noah-chan. Noah's
Shreds.
So good, dude. I couldn't like
so fucking good.
So good. She's been on one lately. It's so sick to see, like, you know, she was like this fucking big when I met her, like just like up to my knees.
Yeah.
Like if I was standing, I would be pointing here. But like in just this tiny little like a thing, and now she's like taller than me, and like she's trying to learn English. So I was helping to be her translator and like all that stuff, and then like it was like Misu was there, and Misu's like English has gotten so much better because she's been to Vancouver a bunch.
Yep.
So Misu is too, and then like it's just all the vibes, man. So like that's like the Japan scene is like much more kid oriented. And there is the adult time. Like, and we all, after the event, we're all in the izakaya, we're all drinking, we all, I was drunk grinding the Dragon Blade Whirlwind, of course, which, since I brought it up, I got the Dragon Blade right here. I'll show you nerds. Just exactly what I was dealing with here is fucking this. It's a fucking tiny little keychain of a sword. And I did a whirlwind with this bad boy. It took a long time, and I was pretty stoked to get it.
Ridiculous. No, where's the origin? Was this 2014 first Kendama World Cup?
It might have been actually
Traveling.
I think it was. Yeah.
From Osaka down to Hiroshima.
Yes.
And stopping at the service areas. And at these service areas, of course, toilet, restaurants and stuff. And there's goods. So like omiyage, like souvenirs is a big thing here in Japan. Like if you travel out, when you go back to your company or whatever, or to see your family, like you got to bring some souvenir. And the souvenir is always food. Food's massive in Japan. It's like the main thing that you'll see on TV, like 80% of the time. And so these omiyages, you can find plenty of those, but there's also like just some trinkets here and there.
Where there's like often kendamas, like the shitty, like no good shape, but like nice colors kind of thing,
Yes. Yeah.
And then the one stop there was these kind of things.
This is a good shape, but
yeah, that is a nicer one than you usually find, honestly. But yeah, so there was the one stop where we found these, and like first thing I thought was like, yo, you could earth turn this bitch. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then like I'm literally in the store like trying this, and I'm like,
but there's a chain on it.
Yeah, I took the chain off. I was like, I'm buying this instantly. Like I don't give a fuck. Like and so I'm trying and just like fuck it. I'm gonna buy two. And then like we all fucking were trying to put a string on it.
Yeah,
string is hella in the way. Fuck that, took it off.
Oh, okay.
Like all sorts of shit. Like I've had probably 5 or 6 at this point, and like different ones, like because you find so many different ones.
Yes.
And like there was one where like the hilt was like dragon heads that came down on either side.
Yeah.
So you could like pop it out and hook it here, hook it there. The hilt actually like sat in the sheath on that one. So there was like a bunch of weird little tricks you could do with it and shit. Real nerdy fucking shit. Like who else would fucking pick this up and be like, I'm gonna do tricks with this shit, other than a kendama player?
Yeah.
Fucking no one.
That's no one. No one. Yeah, because there would be like a little like
there's a chain from
here
to
the top,
and it would still come out, but it would be like that.
You could take it out like, oh, cool, and like, but that's it. There's no like maybe you could try to use this as like a envelope opener, but that's not what it was made for.
No.
And there's the kanji for ryu, which is dragon right there. That's why it's the dragon.
But the fact is, there's two different kanjis for dragon on this. There's one on the sword itself.
Ooh.
Which is like the more Japanese version, and then this one is actually the Chinese kanji.
Okay.
Japanese people can also read for some reason.
Yes.
Beyond me.
I mean, yeah.
We were talking about.
That's the one I know.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's like, this is like the true Dragon Blade, I think. This one's the shit. I had a golden one too that was a different one. I had 2 with me in Okinawa, and I left one at the Rekkimoki for those homies. I'm gonna get some more before I go home. It's not sharp. Like you can't like cut yourself or nothing.
Yeah.
It's a little pointy. Like if I did this really hard, it would suck. But like
stab through something.
That being said, airport security hates this. They hate it. I brought 2 to Okinawa, not thinking about it, and I only had carry-on bags. And they pulled me aside. They're like, can we scan your bag again? Yeah, of course, do your thing. And they fucking, can I check? Yeah. They pulled this out, stood out, like, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, oh no, that's a problem. Oh, and I thought they were gonna take away, but only in Japan would they be like, next time don't bring it.
Yep.
So I'm just like,
because I mean, technically, because it's like it's not a real blade. So I traveled one time airlines, and I had a little Swiss Army knife with me, tiny, the smallest one, and they were like, nope, snagged it. I was like,
damn, that's happened to me as well. Another time when I was an actual blade flying within Japan with Keith and Natamura, and Keith had a fucking little Leatherman thing on him, little Swiss Army knife thing, and we were flying from, I believe, Tokyo? No, we were flying from Osaka to Hokkaido, to Sapporo, to go do that crazy Louis Vuitton event, actually.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't fucking heard the story, go back in the nerd archives, go check it out.
Keith Messerer episode. Don't know what episode it is, but
I don't know either.
Keith Messerer.
I remember the jam track, though, because I went deep on a Louis Vuitton search. Louis Vuitton. Yeah, and it was Wyatt Pop, and Wyatt got stopped in Canada because of his Dragon Blade. You know, like, they don't like these things.
Nope.
But what I was saying with Keith was that he had his knife, and on that flight, they were like, oh, excuse me, you cannot bring this. And he's like, oh, shit, like, I'm sorry, like, sorry. And then what they did was they put it in a fucking box, and they put it as a check bag for him.
Okay.
Like this, like, cause we were at the security stop. It was in his carry-on. He didn't realize. And they literally just fucking put it in a separate little check box for him to go get when we arrived. Like,
wow.
Literally only in Japan.
Wow.
Within Japan.
I didn't get that service.
Sorry, bud. That sucked. Maybe next time.
That sucked. Maybe it was like a really nice blade that he had, or did he have any other chain bags that he...
No, and we both like, that was a completely separate thing. It's not like they like put it in his check bag. It was like they literally like put it in a box and then put that box in with the check bag shit. It was kind of crazy.
I always thought it was weird how it can go through both sides.
Well, yeah, you can get the little half flip going if you're feeling grindy.
I mean, the bottom is the smaller. It's like exact.
And it's kind of what's cool about the Dragon Blades is that every single one is a little different.
All of them. Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, there's no, like, regulations. There's no Dragon Blade associated. No,
not yet.
The DBA. There's no DBA, you know, chilling, telling you how big your sheath can or can't be. Fucking all that shit. So like, there's just a bunch of different ones, and it's interesting.
And the weight is so good.
Yeah,
but it's so fucking hard. You don't know until you try it.
This is the most honed one I've ever had for sure.
So hard. The most honed.
It is, dude. I fucking love this one. I'm gonna try a flip right now just for the fucking. Not even close. It's fucking hard as shit.
It's so hard, like the control, and then
you just have to flip it straight. That's the hardest part.
Yeah,
because right now I've been getting it where it's like spinning. But you need to get it fucking flip straight. Oh, that was tippered. Fuck.
Nope.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen right now. Maybe one more for the nerds. That's all right. It ain't easy, you know?
It's not. But this is like one of those also like special things. Like when you come to Japan, you go to on the highway. You might get lucky at an airport, or if you go to like Osaka in Tokyo.
Actually, this one specifically I got at Don Quixote in Asakusa.
Oh, a word.
Yeah, there you go. Don Quixote, if you guys don't know, is like a everything store that's like kind of wild, and it's like really bright lights everywhere, and they just have all sorts of fucking everything hit.
They have a few in like a few other Asian countries. I think there's one in Hawaii.
I believe that. Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii, so I don't really know, but I believe it.
But yeah, the Dragon Blade.
We went deep on the Dragon Blade. And we were talking about the Dragon Blade because of the Okinawa shit. So I did that trick, the whirlwind on this motherfucker in Okinawa on one of those nights after the event. That was the last night in Okinawa, was it? No, it was the second last night. Just like the Japan vibes, man, are so different from North America Euro vibes. So like, I'm talking about how the Japan vibes are very like kid-oriented. And the events are very kid-oriented. We have so many little kids that are like, just these tiny little kids barely holding the kendama, and they're just doing spike, you know, and like you get to teach these kids spin spike or big cut for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's easy fun
or something.
You sign 400 kendamas at every event. You have fucking all that shit. And then like, you know, like the Euro events in contrast are like at EKC, I don't think there was a single person in that venue that was under 18. It was everybody was older. We're also in Europe, so we're smoking mad spliffs. You know, like, we're all drinking this shit as well, but, like, you know, the spliffs kind of take a little bit more precedence depending on who you talk to. Okay. Whereas, yeah, like, in Japan, there's none of that. And I saw a comment earlier, somebody said something about, yeah, there's no smoking culture out here, so, of course, the drinking culture is stronger. And I do believe that to be true as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, just based on that alone, Japanese people specifically would fucking love weed. If they would just, like, get rid of that brainwashing and fucking give it a chance. They would love it. They would love it. Yeah. And they would find ways to fucking intake it that nobody else has ever thought of. And just like, you know, like just Japan shit. They would have like automatic pipes that like you put it up, that you would have a robot that like came in, you like put it in your mouth and would light it for you or some shit. You know, like I was at a shabu shabu restaurant yesterday with the Soul guys and with the Sumida squad, and like they had a fucking little cat robot that would deliver sushi. You know, hey, yeah, and like you don't see that shit outside of Japan, really. You know, so it's like it's kind of funny to see that shit. And like I really do believe that it would be revolutionized if Japan specifically, let alone every other country, just got into it and just accepted it the way alcohol is accepted. But
yeah.
that's my 2 cents. Going back to the EKC vibes and the Euro vibes, it's very interesting to see, that the adult versus the kids, and then the mix in North America, where it has lately become more of adult, and I feel like the relative age has kind of gone up since COVID, but there still is kids present, and there still is a lot of kids that are like getting into it, specifically with like, you know, like with Josh Grove and like the Sweet Canales Foundation, going to schools and all that kind of stuff, and that vibe of thing happening at the same time. So it's very cool to see the three and how they all kind of like coincide yet are contrasting, and like it's a beautiful thing.
It is. No,
it was a beautiful thing.
It is. It's so dope how it's like it can just resonate with so many people. But at the same time, there's like a certain kind of person that I believe sticks with it.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like those are like the Dama homies, where there's not too many shafty people. I feel. I probably can't actually say too much now that I thought that after I said it, because I have never been to a North American event.
What? That's crazy. You've been in Japan too long.
I've been in Japan. I've just been in Japan. When I go to the States, it's like it's dope because I have a whole family to bring over. So of course I'm just gonna like stay with my family. I can't take off too long, so it would never like match up. You know, I
makes sense.
Like, of course, I would love to. It would be so amazing.
Oh, totally.
To see what it's like. But so,
quick interjection. I want to remind all you nerds that we got this little question button down here. If y'all got a question for us at the end, we're gonna do a quick Q&A. So fucking pop a question in there for the nerds.
Yes. We've already been jamming for like an hour and 20 minutes, maybe? Close to an hour?
Something like that.
As if we're hanging.
We still got one more beer.
We do have one more. We have our final dessert, our chocolate beer. After the nice coffee,
we got to get the coffee in this. Pop these eyes.
This is good, right?
It's beautiful.
It's like really smooth. It's not too like... I've had some where it's like you can't taste the coffee at all. I've had some where it's just like way too like thick. But this is a nice blend of it, actually.
It's got like a little bit of that like coffee flavoring mixed with like the kind of dark beer, like stouty, kind of like portery kind of.
Yeah.
Taste.
Which I'm not a big fan of stouts, porters. No thanks.
Huge fan. Well, maybe it's the Canadian blood in me. I'm all the fucking the winter. There's one of my favorite ones.
Probably.
There's one in they're called Phillips, and they're based out of Victoria in Canada, and they make a coffee beer. I think it's called Blackjack, something like that. It has like a card on kind of thing, and it's like Anubis on the cover, and it's a coffee stout.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of my favorite coffee beers I've ever had in my life. It's fucking beautiful. If you're in Canada and you see one, maybe check it out.
Dude, talking about like beer and stuff, like did you see Easy? You know, Zumadalgate Easy. They created an event, a video competition.
It's on Reddit
exclusively for. Oh shit!
I'm pissed that I didn't know about it.
I think you was like a month.
I know.
How did you see it at the end? Only like you saw like the live stream of them announcing the winners or something.
Dash Instagram too hard.
So dude loves beer. Easy loves beer.
He does.
Hard hop head. So he finally like got together a few other people to create this event, and it's a video competition exclusively for Instagram, which makes sense because that's where most of us live and most of us post content and take content as well. And it's such a really dope thing. He was mentioning during that live stream when they were announcing like the winners and stuff, they actually didn't only announce the winners. Actually, they didn't announce the winners at all. What am I saying? They just did a full watch through of all of the entries live.
That's kind of
and gave their 2 cents. They didn't say exactly like, oh, like this is the one like I want to choose. Like I think they already watched them once, chose the winners, I believe. I'm not so sure about the behind the scenes. Then did the live where they showcased everyone's entries. They talked and they were like, oh, I like this about it. I like this about it. Like that was really cool. Oh, it was great to see them like making a video or something. Watched the whole thing. They were at a small microbrewery in Tokyo live there, and they were a sponsor in the event, that little brewery. So it was like a super like dope like combo. Sadly, the Wi-Fi was super shit. So it was in and out. The audio was like really whack. I think at first they were hooked up with a computer so they could show on screen on the Instagram Live the clip that was showing. So that was really cool. So we could, instead of like them just talking about it, we could all watch it together as they were talking about it. But the later lives, that didn't work out. Just really cool concept. I would hope, maybe, who knows, if that could be pushed as our turning for other type of video competitions. And you know, we know that anyone who follows Matt over on Twitch, he watches so many of the video comps.
dude. Yeah, like for the New Year New Edit comp, which I was just
He's like, all right.
but he does that shit.
He's like, well, I don't know what else to do where we can play like fucking marbles or watch me play Mario or something. Or, hey, here's a video comp that's happening. Here's all these entries. Let's watch them.
He's gonna sit there and watch them anyway, so you might as well do it on the stream so it's like an excuse for everybody to watch them together, right?
Perfect example. So, yes. So he does that. So they did that. But yeah, so beer lovers out there,
Check it out.
it's so like, and that's just another connection to adult kendama play.
100%. I mean, that's like the roots of kendama come from that kind of shit, right?
Yes.
Like it's like it was a drinking game where like, you know, you catch the cup, you're good. Miss the cup, you take a drink. Bolero, same shit.
Because before the Bill Bokeh was, it was just a spike.
The biblical was just a spike,
Pretty much.
the same as this.
Different types of, was it usually just a circle? Was it a thelma?
Biblical a lot of the time was a ball, yes,
Right.
but it had a flat bottom, unlike the biblical.
Candle,
Stand.
like a candle holder? What-
Yeah, like a candle holder. Yeah, not a rozoku.
Right.
But there was also ones that were like barrel shaped. But it was more of the handle or the can part of it that was different. The differentiated the biblical from the bottle.
Fucking Bill Bokeh.
No? Damn.
Yeah.
I only have like one. But
Lamp.
lamp. The lamp
From the nog. Super nog.
from the lamp. From the lamp. From the man himself. Fuck. But yeah,
It was a drinking game.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about competitions and watching videos and shit, and you guys know it's almost the end of December, which means it's about to be a new year, which means you should be making a new edit for the New Year New Edit competitions,
Totally.
which I'm about to announce in January. I'm doing the work right now to get my list together, to throw out some messages to some sponsors, to get that all put together. Again, if you guys haven't seen it in the past, go check it out. I have an Instagram page for it. It's New Year New Edit Comp. There's a couple underscores in there. I believe it's New Year _New Edit _comp.
You might need a new like icon. You know, the Pompoko is cute.
I love the Pompoko. I kind of want to keep it.
People,
I've been thinking
I
about
think people are gonna be like, "Is this one fake? Is this like that hacked Rolf account?"
if somebody is hacking the New Year New Edit comp account, I don't know what to say. That's fucked up.
Are you supposed to yank this, right? People yank this?
That's the other version.
The original, super short string.
It's not Bolero. It's a different one.
No.
Yeah, it's like a very similar thing, but it's I forget what it's called.
Bolero?
It's a different thing though.
Where it's like made for yank.
Yeah, I believe it's Colombian.
Oh.
Or that it is. Fuck. What the hell's the name? I can't remember.
Chilean?
It's not Chilean. I think it's it might be Chilean. Fuck, I don't know. What the hell do I know? But yeah, New Year New Edit comp fucking happen in January. Don't you dare start filming until January 1st, you sons of bitches.
People totally could.
Of course they could. But this is, we're all kendama players. We have kentegrity. We love to fucking...
A month is good enough. It's cold as shit for many people, of course.
Of course.
Will be.
Well, what this is, the reason I started this, because it's an ode to the grip contest of old. And if you don't know the grip contest, then do yourself a fucking favor and just search grip kendama New Year edit contest. And there's so many videos from all that shit. It might be Guatemala. I think you're right, nerds. But OGs that are still hardcore players.
Yeah, man.
That were then like little youngsters. Dude, I'm stoked that I got to fucking take down the first couple. I got first in the first 2 years, I believe it was, and then I got second in the next 2 years.
Ooh.
So I was a big part of those, and I was really sad to see that disappear. You know, so I felt that was a huge part of kendama culture that was just missing. There was a hole in the culture in my brain right there.
Yeah.
And so nobody else was doing it. I wanted to fill that void. So what I did was I fucking
so much shit.
So what I did was I made the New Year New Edit comp in the way that I thought was best, and I think it's been working out pretty well so far. If you don't know it, go check out the Instagram. I post all of the different sponsors. The sponsors themselves pick their own prize to decide on who gets their prize. So it's not just a fucking, like, who's the best kendama player.
I'm gonna get the camera.
Yeah.
The batteries for that camera.
MJ's other camera just died, so we're gonna get that guy going again. But so yeah, it's not just that. I'm trying to spread all of that to as many people as possible. So like, that's why I ask people to be as creative as possible with their prize, because I want there to be more people getting prizes. I don't want one person to get a thing. I don't want one person to get everything. You know, I want
Right.
many people as possible to get these prizes. So I want to make it fun.
But at the same time, it's difficult, isn't it? Like, I think
it's last time
it was really,
because like the more obscure your prize is, and then the less chance there is that somebody's going to hit that category. Was there specific
load of,
so there's a couple like
these too. On not entries, there's a shitload of sponsors. So it's like at a certain point, they're like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, hey, like Jared Porter was like, best
fit
clothes. Yeah. It makes sense.
No, I think that one is a good one.
In his section.
But there was some specific ones, like, you know, like Mash had, I think, 3. And he had like best Dama art, best Dama tattoo, and like something else related. I can't remember what it was. It might have been like paint or some shit like that. But yeah, shout out Mash. You know, I got the beanie. I only have these beanies, actually.
Oh shit. Just put it on.
But
I was totally going to the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that, but yeah, I'll hold it down if you want to take a fucking. Well, you go. Oh, hey, well, we're talking about my contest. I'll keep going. Go take a piss. Go.
You guys didn't know. Coming to Japan, there's a lot of Canadians that I've met here, and it's the ongoing joke, which continues to be running true, that Canadians are just nice people.
I mean, you know, a lot of truth is said in jest, I suppose.
Take my mic off so you don't hear me.
Oh, come on, bud. I was looking forward to that part. I'm sure everyone was. But anyway, going back to the New Year New Edit comp. I'm excited to see what happens this year for it. The first year I had, I believe it was 77 entries. And then this last year we had about 52 entries, I believe it was. And that is like 20 less entries, but still a shit ton of entries. And I'm really excited to see that, you know, and like there's people who I don't know that well, like, or I haven't seen before, who, like, one person who entered this year, it was their first kendama edit ever to do this. And so I hope that you all are feeling the vibes from that I am, because I'm trying to bring back the grip contest vibes. So again, if you haven't seen those grip contests, go check that out. And if you're looking for videos to watch, go check out the playlists that I make, the New Year New Edit contest playlist. Every year, that's what I'm going to be doing for that. So check that shit out. If you're looking to sponsor it, hit me up and we'll make something work. I'm trying to get as much of it involved as I can, because, you know, it's a community-oriented thing and I love everything about this. And yeah, but the rules of this contest, and since we're talking about it, let's go over it, is 2-minute maximum entry, and you have to film it only in January. So you start January 1st and you have until January 31st to get it into me. And what you do is you upload your video to YouTube, and I make my playlist, and I will add your video to the playlist. The first year I did it, I used YouTube as a collaborative mode where you can add people as collaborators to your playlist, which I thought was great. I was like, okay, if you want to enter, here's the thing. You just click this link and now you can be a collaborator and you can add your video yourself and I don't have to do it, right? But guess what happened? YouTube fucked up and it's all fucking weird. So I could never, even to this day, I still can't turn off collaborator mode. So maybe I shouldn't be saying this publicly, but anybody who was in that can still add videos to it. So I have to check every once in a while and fucking delete the excess videos, because when you go to add playlist, the first one that comes up will be the last one that you added to. So I think people are doing it by accident, thinking they're adding videos to their thing. And if you're fucking with me and you're doing them, then fuck you. You know, it's taking time out of my day to go do this shit.
I mean, technically, you don't really have to do it because it was an old...
Yeah, but it's like, I want my playlist to be what it is. I don't want people to fucking go through there and then all of a sudden be some weird ass fucking, like, I don't know, it could be anything, you know? Yeah, but yeah, Dubs is hanging. What's up, Dubs? What do you want? What do you want?
So we're just winning out of the room? I want to get out of the room.
Yeah, shit.
What's up, everyone? We got a few people in here. Question 2. We got 9 questions right now so far. I was like scooping it out before. I was like, oh, hell, we got 9? Okay. Before we wrap this all up, we're finishing off with the Q&A. So use that question tool down there to put in your question that we'll be answering.
And before that,
I'm just having a good time.
It's not your turn. It's my turn. I'll be right back, nerd.
So, New Year's, new Dama at it. Dope. Getting back on YouTube, because like that's where it started, and that's why like Rod had like the ode to YouTube, and that's why it was like it's such a great thing to get people to get back into the learning process of making edits for YouTube. I think it's super convenient and it's really nice, easy to be using your smartphone, whatever smart device, to be capturing your tricks, posting them as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like the amount of effort that everyone puts into making an actual YouTube edit. There's something that was there that like almost not a full-on like rite of passage, but a sense of that when you were getting into kendama and you see other people creating edits back again years ago. That was the place, because Instagram wasn't a thing. It was made just for people who were posting about their pictures that they had and shit. So it is so cool to see more people putting stuff on YouTube, and a way to bring back over, horizontal filming, okay? Don't shoot vertical. I mean, that's just my pet peeve, to see people posting vertical video on YouTube. Like, remember everyone, key point, turn the shit sideways, horizontal, get a nice wide frame, take a few extra steps back, put on a fisheye lens, get a fisheye lens, drop it on that bad boy if you don't have one, or maybe your phone has, a little, that secondary lens so you can get a wider shot, but turn it sideways. Okota. Turn it sideways to film your YouTube edit. Don't go vertical. You can use your phone to shoot. Go horizontal. Landscape. All right, everyone. It's the key. It's coming.
Come on, Dubs.
I don't know if I will be joining this coming year. I got a lot of shit to do. I would have to do some, if you've seen my past, I like to put in a lot of work, this is story being told.
Check it out if you have not.
So, and I've kind of like put myself up to like the whole side of like, oh, if you did this, so it's like you kind of like got to, warm up yourself in a way and make it better or add more to the story, which it right now is just rolling as it is. There's hints of ideas that I have here and there, but we don't know what will happen. I mean, the first one that I did like the day before. Okay, I spent one day filming it, one night filming it, and the next day editing. And I posted it like hours before the deadline.
Yeah, dude. I mean, every grip contest entry I've ever entered was past the deadline. And I was hitting up Luke being like, yo, I'm sorry, my computer is a piece of shit. I don't know what I'm doing. Fucking like the one year I smashed 2 laptops, I think, at the same time within 5 minutes. And I almost lost all of my footage.
Because you were pissed?
No, like no, not even. I was just fucking around playing kendama, and I had both of them right there. And I smashed the one and was like, well, that sucks, but at least it wasn't the one that had all my footage on it. And then within 5 minutes, I like missed a whirlwind or something, and fucking, everything is corrupted. And I was fucking shitting my pants. And this is when I was doing like the first deconstruction tricks that I'd ever hit.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was on there.
Yeah.
I almost lost that shit. I took it to the fucking, what was it called? There's like this it's a funny name, this computer fixing spot in Vancouver. Anyway, shout out those guys. Fixed my shit, and I got it all back. And I still have that laptop to this day. Still works, kind of, actually. It kind of works.
You did what?
It's a fucking MacBook from 2008.
You dropped what? You were playing what around it?
Yeah, they saw me and they were like, oh, this fucking nerd. Okay, yeah. Yeah, nice work, dude. Yeah, that'll be $50, bud.
Well, yes. Yeah, so we'll see. But, you know, first year was good. 70 plus people. 77 entries. The last year, 50-ish. Okay. Let's see that number rise a bit, guys. That's it. Right now,
Not upset about 50.
I mean, that's still really dope.
Both are still more than the grip contest had, which is saying some word.
Hey, what was all the COVID babies and stuff, like seeing people like get into it? You know, don't think about, again, with how many prizes there are in the different like categories. I was talking about it in weekly Dama news, how it's like you can totally just pick one and go hard on that.
People did that.
And
People did that. Like, for example, Serial Kendama did the Breakfast B-roll award the one year, you know, which I thought was a great idea.
Yeah.
And so it was like there was a couple edits, I can't remember who specifically, that had like people had like cereal or eating breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, there you go. And I'm trying my best to get them announced as soon as possible so that while you're filming, you have that in mind.
Yep.
Because in the past, I've been like throughout the month,
It was announced. Yeah, because it was kind of close.
There's one thing that we all know about kendama players. We all are kind of laggy. It takes some time to do things. Like, I don't get a message back for fucking weeks. I'm not talking about you, but yeah, you sometimes. But like, hey, I'm me sometimes. You know, it's a part of it. We're too busy doing this or that, or earth turning, or missing whirlwinds, or, you know, like, one more try. I'm gonna answer this in one more try.
Yeah, one more try
later.
Seriously.
So like,
it's shit.
I'm doing my best to get it out there, but just do your new edit comp.
Get ready for it, guys.
Please,
it's coming around
in there.
Christmas, New Year's, and you could start.
I am going to do my best. I do not have the Terra shop right now, so I'm going to do my best to get turning.
You guys have been migrating.
Yes, so I'm going to do my best to turn a Ken for this year. I'm going to get my own spot going with a lathe and fucking slap one together, hopefully.
Get ready. It's been that last one. What was it? The Vera wood? Vera?
Yeah, I do have a Vera wood Ken that I turned.
The Hulk one? The Bruce Banner?
Well, that was so I made 2 of that. I made 2. One of them was called Bruce Banner, and I brought it with me to Europe to sell. And I actually sold it in Canada when I came back. And I had made a second blank that I was going to turn for myself before I left, but I didn't get to turn it before I left. So I turned it when I got home. So I have that one with me here in Japan, actually. It's in my bag.
Oh, shit.
And it's pretty sick. I should have brought it with me here in hindsight so I could show you nerds, but next time.
More rod turns. So what's the difference between the rod turn from the rod himself versus the Hondui China made?
Well, I mean, the biggest difference is that I can choose what piece of wood goes where. Not to mention, like, the laminate shit, of course. But when I see, like, a blank, I can, like, look at the figuring and be like, okay, this is going to be the heavy part. This is going to be the center. Okay. You know, like, things like that. Or, like, when I'm designing, like, you know, the laminates, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to put these heavy woods in the Cerado section, and then in the Ken, you know, like the lighter ones. Like, I'll put mahogany in the Ken, Wenge or something in the Cerado to make it more You know, and yeah, and also Roush is right here too. I kind of make my sourdough a little chunkier when I hand make them.
Oh, okay.
The China-made ones are a little skinnier in the middle just because they can't do that same selection the way I do. And I've found it to make it more consistent. So there's a couple little things like that change between the hand-turned and the China-made stuff.
Okay. This China-made.
This is the China-made one, yes.
Of course, you got the burns and everything.
I really wish I brought that one downstairs so I could fucking compare it, but you'll have to fucking wait and see, I guess.
Hey, that's how she goes.
That is how she goes. That's the way she goes.
We're just cracked open our final beer.
Final Cueto.
The melting pot.
Melting pod.
The melting pot. Perfect for this pod right here. It is a 100% natural beauty beer. Alcohol 5.50. Guatemalan chocolate. Okay, everyone?
This does not taste like chocolate at all.
Okay. That's so fruity. There's cacao. Pulp. Cacao pulp. Cocoa pulp.
Cacao pulp. Yeah.
Okay. Cacao nibu.
Cacao nibs.
And hops. Okay.
Cacao pulp.
Yeah, that is very
and
super acidic.
Does not taste like cacao.
Not off the rip. Not of what we think of cacao being sweet chocolate is. But if you were to just like grab a cacao bean of fruit and just bite it, what would that be like?
I don't know. Apparently cacao pulp is fruity compared to according to Starry yeah. So maybe they're onto something. This is really nice though.
Yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be a chocolate.
I was actually.
It says dandelion small batch chocolate. I was looking forward to a chocolate.
Yeah,
flavor.
I'm not like disappointed. It's a good beer, but it's not what we signed up for. That's for damn sure.
When you read a bunch of like cacao, chocolate, cacao, you're ready for chocolate flavoring.
Mm-hmm.
Hershey's.
Daddy's home. We got Skags in the chat. Holy shit.
Oh my god, there's Togo right now. Togo, hey. We had a question for you.
Yeah, Mr. Togo, the father of the champion.
Father champ. Omedetou gozaimasu.
Omedetou.
Do you have any of these still?
Yeah.
これまだある？なんか、ロードがなんか欲しそう。
欲しいですよ。I want one of those, if you have one, Togo-san. For those of you who don't know, this was an art gallery that they put together. It's a lot of artists.
That was the winning prize. That was first place. And the top, this can was like your niner.
For a little guy?
Yeah, the little guy.
What? That's kind of sick. And so yeah, they put this art gallery together with all sorts of people put in their own art, and they sold the art if the artist was willing, and they put this book together of all of it at the end. And it's really crazy kendama art in there. A lot of like things like built like sculpture kind of wise. Some of it's more drawn. Like the top one is like one of my favorites. The Gundam style one. It looks like I don't know if Niggity is in there.
Oh, the badass. There's Togo.
Yeah, there's
the vibes.
Good little vibe. The vibes. Vibey book. If Togo doesn't answer, I'm just gonna hit him up. Ask if he has one. Anyways, we've been grinding.
We've been guys.
We got. If you guys didn't hear earlier, we got this little magic button right here that you can click and put a question for us, and I believe we're about to do a little Q&A.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll give you guys a quick. Can they put in questions while we're doing it?
Yes, they totally can.
So yeah, get your questions in. We got 9 questions right now, and
starting off,
here we go. Question number 1 from NERDS. MJ.
The NERDS. I always call them the NERDS. You know the NERDS? Like the...
yeah. Nugent?
Yeah. No.
No?
The NERDS as in, I forgot his real name, but the skateboarder. Pro skateboarder.
I don't know which song.
The dude called it the NERDS. Any case.
Not Ted Nugent.
The NERDS, not Ted Nugent.
All right, well, to write back, MJ, what American event would you like to attend?
I mean, American events.
All of them?
there are many, but it has to be like the major one. You know, you got to go to the Woodstock if you're going to go to any. And when you are someone who lives halfway around the world, you got to really choose which one to go to. So
that's what he's asking you to do.
It would have to be NACO, full up. And it says America, so I can't say, Van Jam, but Van Jam is another one.
So if Van Jam could be included in that, would you?
In North America, out of them, that would be your second. That would still be second run.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just because of how much shit happened.
No, I get you. Yeah, totally. It's another scale. Like it's another level.
Yeah,
exactly. Van Jam, we've always called it the World Championships of hanging the fuck out and playing kendama.
That's the thing. Yeah. You make fun of people who are trying too hard. Or something you said something along the lines
fucking nerds.
yeah. It's like you're trying too hard. It's like, come on, dude, just fuck.
Again, there is a prize. It is there. But
yes,
it's a fun, lighthearted thing, and it's about hanging out, playing kendama, not so much spirit going super hard.
Spirit, and which is cool because if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to, because there's plenty of groups that are focused on being hey,
which I think we saw this year. Which a lot of people came from out of Canada came for Brew Battle this year in Calgary, but nobody except for Misu came from outside of Canada to Van Jam this year.
It's still,
people are a little more
traveling international.
That's true, possibly. But maybe if people are a little more onto the open division kind of thing than they are Ken game or this hanging the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot more people who want to seriously compete.
I mean, for the Ken game side, how many people just go full douche mode and just do something that is really creative that only they've thought of that morning?
I mean, I can't, not many, right? There's definitely a little bit of the shyster kind of vibe, in a way. But I think most people get it, because everybody does their own little Ken games at first in the beginning, and then eventually once you get to a certain point, everybody's watching it all.
Yeah,
so it's
you get booed out.
Well, and then you don't get booed out. I mean, you might. It depends on how shysty you're being. I'm not gonna fucking be silent. Van Jam is the time for a party, and I ain't sober, so I'm gonna be sitting there being fucking. I'm gonna be in there fucking talking shit a little bit. I'm a nice guy, but I'll talk shit.
Play off the wall.
Yeah, dude, yeah, exactly. My point exactly. The year what he's been referring to is the year when the Gallaghers went up against each other in the finals for was it the second year in a row
battle.
I think it was the second year in a row. I don't remember. Anyways, they were in there, and I was I was very much I really wanted them to fucking roll the dice to pick a kendama off the wall. Because we had a wall of 100 different damas. Some of them were pretty shitty,
wacky.
It could have been. It would have made it very interesting, but they were super not down. Stod was like, "Yo, Rod, shut the fuck up, man. They worked really hard to get there. Don't fucking make them do that shit." That was just fine, whatever. Do what you want. I just want to have fun. It was funny as shit. But there's the answer to your question, the nerd. And another
next one.
Rod, are you attending Battle at the Border 2023? You'll be happy to know I actually just booked my flight, so just all nerds there.
Battle at the Border. BA10, 2023.
Hell's motherfucking yeah.
You made it last year.
Yes, I did. I came from Mexico last year.
Yeah. From Stacy. Rod, do you have a big enough suitcase to bring MJ to North America and go with you? I don't want to die in a suitcase. I mean,
she didn't say you died. I could bring a carry-on. Maybe. I mean, the thing is let's say I could fit MJ in my suitcase. His 3 kids and wife would never fit. And at this point, he's kind of a package deal. He's at this point attached more than this fucking Dama was to my hand when you touch it.
That's what I'm talking about. It's different in Japan, right?
It's weird as shit.
The pain gets weird when you don't play. I bet if I kept on playing that, it was normal sticky paint.
It's weird old school sticky paint that if you just leave it, it's just I'm gonna do it again. Look at this. Watch my it's you can't
see it. It'll stick. Yeah, look at that. That's sticking through his hand.
Oh, I need to wash my hands after this. Yeah, I could pay for another check. Oh, man, yeah.
Oh shit! It'd be
Settle luggage. Yeah, fuck my clothes. Let's fucking get you in there, bud.
It would be very difficult to be truthful. All right, it'd be difficult. I would love to, but it seems like it's gonna
Maybe one day. Once the kiddos are big enough to deal with, we'll dad having gone for a bit, be able to help mom out a little bit, because right now there's a lot going on over there.
He's seeing it firsthand. Firsthand, dude.
You're a stronger man than I am, Jim.
Next one.
From Deadbeat Delaney. Favorite trick? Favorite trick, like, that we've done, or favorite trick ever seen?
Probably that person.
Or favorite trick, like, just a regular, like, single trick? Like,
I'm a single. I love single trick.
I know
that
I do too, honestly.
Combos are dope, but I'm all about like the consistency and the flow of like start, zap, 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 bam, done. But to keep it like really simple, like something that I just find myself doing all the time, and we've said it before. I don't know in what episode I don't know where I talked about it, but scramble. That's it.
Damn, I love a good scramble myself.
Totally. I mean, your style is like, it goes to that axis of your body, like spinning your moon circles and shit.
Yeah. And that's the reason I do it that way, is because the first thing I ever learned of that nature was scramble.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I learned to moon circle forward like that, was because I was just naturally throwing shit that way. And I didn't even know I was doing it wrong until I went to Dama Fest 2013.
Oh, yeah.
Met all the pros and shit, and they were like, yo, what are you fucking doing? You're doing it the other way. And I was like, what?
Oh, like in front of you. Not like sideways.
And I was like, oh, well.
So much harder to catch that way.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was like, the hard way. I was like, what do you mean I'm doing it wrong? You're doing it wrong. But for me, I mean, I think my favorite trick I've ever done would have to be, obviously, the deconstruction whirlwind. I worked so hard for that trick, and I've still only ever done it once.
You worked hard for it, but guess what? I mean, not guess what, but you were paid for it. Hey, holy shit.
That's right.
How many people have said who's getting paid for a kendama trick? There was an episode, I think it was when we were hanging out session with Rick on the NERDS episode with him. We were talking about him like busting. What's the word? Busting? Busting, yeah. Getting money on the streets for doing something. Busking. Hello.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of close, right? And you were for a living. And I think I remember talking about like in Australia, I went to Australia and I was at the airport and I got like a few like Australian like change for that. But I totally forgot that in Japan one time, not far from my house, there's this like little local like izakaya, like bar, eatery. And they were like playing. There's a little live show happening, playing like Peruvian Inca music. And it was like, that's why I was there. I was like, cool.
Oh, that's
I had some friends who were friends of the owner, and they're like, MJ. She knows I play kendama. She's like, play Dama. And I was like, I could. And then like in Japan, like, you know what it's like. People are like, fucking, yo, Dama, fucking go. Yeah. And again, it was really tiny, a tiny joint. So I get up and I do some kendama tricks, like, you know, having a good time. And then my friend who told me to get up and play, she's like, all right. And she like grabs like she has a hat or something. And she's like, all right. Like she goes around to each table and like gets money for me. And I get like $50.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
That's sick.
I'm happy I got that off my chest, because I always remember like from that episode, I was like, I totally forgot about that time that I fucking destroyed. Like I did just random like normal tricks, you know, that everyone was like, of course, like you were saying, like people are like, oh my God,
you don't have to go bangers like you're on the catch and pull stage.
I mean, I had a stilt or two, but yeah.
Good shit.
But I'm gonna say it's not even like a solid like trick like yours is, but scrambled. Deconstruction, like that's raw deconstruction.
I mean, I worked for that shit really hard. That's why it's my favorite trick. Not because of the $1,000. That was a nice bonus.
Back to back, Deadbeat Delaney. You can only support and jam one brand for the rest of the time. Oh. You choose them.
I mean, what the fuck? I like them all, to be honest. Like, there's not... I don't know. I mean, I already kind of just only jam Terra shit. And
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
You know what?
To sponsor
I don't really have, like, a brand per se, but, like, raw Dama, like, hand-turned shit is, like, my own shit, which means I can make my own thing the way I fucking want.
So which is the best way to do it?
I'm gonna have to go with that.
Right.
I got the cheat codes.
Man, that's an interesting question. You can only support and jam one brand for the rest. So that's
Making whatever you
jam.
want, dude. Don't worry.
Locked in. No question that. Make me whatever I want.
But hypothetically, if that wasn't a thing,
To support and jam only one brand. So it's not you're supporting and jamming just one. You're not jamming one Dama, the brand, for the rest of time. That's where the kicker is. I feel for me. And dude, like almost like being just lame but OG.
oh, you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say, aren't you?
Yamagata Kobo.
Yeah, Ozora.
Ozoras.
Honestly,
Because you can't go wrong with an Ozora. Like those were like, that was the fucking breast milk of kendama players.
absolutely.
You know?
And I mean, they still make banging kendamas.
They're getting better.
Yeah,
And
they are.
recent paint, I talked with Akimoto.
Oh, dude, they're killing it.
He's like, we got new shit coming. Best ever. Out of Yamagata Kobo. Straight from them.
Dude. And like, if you guys know all kendama, I'm sure you've heard of it now since Shinosuke down Catch and Flow. Fucking
Shinosuke Togo.
came in.
Straight up.
I've heard
For all kendama.
story today of the first time I hung out with that kid. He was literally like about an inch bigger than this kendama. Just a tiny little dude. And he was shredding then. Like in the story that is from 2015, and I'm like, this little dude shreds. He gave me these stickers.
Yeah.
And I stayed at their house and with Togo, who we were just talking about with the book and shit. And now he's the fucking world champion.
Catch and Flow.
Fucking shredded that stage. It was beautiful to watch. And this is what I'm talking about, the progression from the old to the new, and like I feel so blessed to be a part of it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fucking, I'm so lucky.
For like it's so amazing because of like it's when the sensei is overtaken by the peer or
The student becomes the teacher. There you go. Bad shit. And that happened a long time ago, let's be honest. But now we have solidified proof. Like, you cannot, like, deny it. Undeniable proof. That's what I'm looking for. It's like fucking, yeah. Yeah. Shinken, all kendama.
So all kendama is made by Yamagata Kobo.
That's a good one, actually.
They turn that shit.
That is a great one. Another good one. Fuck. You know, I don't know. I feel biased because I like Terra is like, you know, like even if I wasn't hand turning stuff, Terra hand turn stuff that I can, you know, make these alterations with as well.
Yes,
Takes time, because I'm not doing it. However, still that vibe. So I guess I have to say Terra. As much as I love Yamagata Kobo as well, and I was gonna bring up Legacy, like Gloken's kind of shit as well, because they also are on that kind of thing.
Yes, completely.
But dude, I want a hand turn house by myself as well. If that's what we're talking about.
Next cue.
Dubs, you could ask a question.
One and only Kendalex.
Coming to Europe at the EKC 2023.
You know, I want to say it's no right away for everything. Sadly, you know, as much as I would like to go,
I am going to do everything within my power to be there because I loved it and I love it. I think I need to be there. No, I'm gonna straight up say it, but I'm going to be there. Unless something else happens, I'm going to be there.
won't. Next one.
And what's your greatest kendama moment?
Troymeyer.
Oh, what's your greatest kendama moment? Dude, that's such a big question.
Mine would be probably giving
Dubs, what's up?
Shit was a hang.
Come on.
Mine would probably been giving kendama to Sue.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because it never really like hit me until these past few days. Like when we were at Mumu, and Ayumu was like, I forgot. We started talking about, you know, like my connection with Sue and stuff, and I'm in, of course, Kawagoe, where Sue Lab was located. I mean, he's still his place is around here. And I mentioned how I was like, yeah, I was the first. I gifted Sue a kendama when he was opening up his design photo studio, and then he just fell in love with it so much, and it just took off. And Ayumu was like, he's like, oh shit, he's like, so like, Takuya is here, like, is a champ because of you. And I was like,
that's massive, actually.
no.
That's some butterfly.
No? yeah, seriously.
Holy shit, dude, that's wild.
Yeah, and I didn't really think about it, but okay. And then at the closing event party, Sue specifically said, he's like, I would have never met my wife. Dubs, come hang out. I would have never met my wife, Ayaka, if it wasn't for kendama, because she came to play kendama at Sue Lab. Amazing.
Yeah, man, that's a big thing.
So
That's a big moment.
I have to say that
This is such a hard fucking question. I think what I have to go with, though, is me coming to Japan the first time.
Ooh, yeah.
In 2012, I played kendama, and I had every intention of playing kendama in Japan and making an edit in Japan and shit, which didn't fucking happen. Which, if you don't know that story, go back and listen, because I don't want to fucking talk about it. Card gone. Yeah, fuck. I got to come to the Fujiwara Issei World Kendama Open in Osaka, because I still don't know to this day, I don't know who it was, but I got a random Facebook invite by a Japanese person to come to this event. And it was like a day or two before we were planning on coming. And it was right as I was booking flights. So it was like, we're going a couple days earlier to get to that fucking event. And that was the first time I'd ever met any pro players at all. Was
Terra a thing?
Terra was not a thing. Terra was a thing. I had a Terra with me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I had my, I think, second ever Terra kendama.
KE was a thing.
KE was a thing, yes. KE started in like 2009, 2010. But, so I had my maybe second ever Terra kendama. But this was the first time I ever went to an event outside of Canada. We had like a couple little KE events that I had been to, whatever, like in homie's backyard kind of thing. But going there, I met Colin Sander, I met The Void, I met Alex Rausch and Jeffrey Van Rasta. If you don't know fucking Dutch kendama, you're just sleeping. I met Nick Schofer, and like and Eric and Brett were there. Like that was pretty much the entire Gaijin squad, foreigner squad, minus the Mongolians. There was a fat Mongolian squad, and those guys were fucking honed. They were sick. They were really sick. But that was the time when I met. I don't know, actually. It's a good question. But I met Tomotsu for the first time. I met Zawa for the first time. I met all these Japanese homies who are now some of my best friends, and I've had some of the best times in my entire life because of these people. Yeah. And like on that trip, we went to, because we were at that event, I met Tomotsu, and he had just left the JKA and was holding a binder that said Global Kendama's Network on it. Yes. He barely spoke English. And he was like clean cut, like very Japanese Tomotsu, like, hello, my name is Tomotsu Kubota desu. Really nice to meet you. Like all this shit, like such a beautiful human. And he just like invited us to go to his parents' house for a barbecue where we all hung out with like the Japanese players like Mukai-san, Tomoyo Mukai, and like Kenta Sakamoto, and Akira Tajime was there, and like Shimadera was there. Like Hajime was there, because Hajime and Tomotsu started looking together. Yep. And then, this is one of the better moments, is that from there, Tomotsu brought us to his home in Matsumoto. and we stayed in this room in his house where his family lived for a few days, and we hung out in Matsumoto, which this was in 2012. In 2018, I moved to Japan for a year, and that house that I stayed at where his family lived became the Dama house, which is now where Kota still lives.
Oh, shit.
That room that I stayed in on that trip became my bedroom.
Wow.
In 2018 when I moved there.
Wow.
So that was a huge moment.
Is like, that's not the haunted one?
No, that was after. The haunted one happened, and they moved into that one, and Tomotsu got his own new house for his family.
Word.
Which is a whole nother story. Yeah, Gloken had a haunted Dama house, like, straight up. We'll get Zawa on here to talk about it. So,
yeah.
That's some shit. But, yeah, I think that was one of the biggest moments for me, was that weird coincidence of one person knowing me from social media shit, which was early on, like 2012. Like, there was barely social media shit.
Yeah.
Instagram had just came out, kind of.
Right. Like, the more people, like, non-college, it's like Facebook was not for college kids anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like, people were starting to actually use it. And I got this random invite, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? World Kendama Open? That's a thing? Holy shit. We're going at the same time. It's in Osaka. Yeah, we're fucking going.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we went. And then, like, that brought about so much in my life that I can't imagine if I had never gone to that, what it would be like.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Me. Like, I'm sure everything else would have went forward without me. But, like, holy shit. I'm, like, so grateful to have been a part of all of it because of that coincidence. So, it's true. If you're listening to this and you're the motherfucker who invited me to that, I owe you a fucking keg of beer, and we're gonna drink it together. So that's got to be my moment. Thank you for that question. Actually, that was a hard one. Right, great fucking question.
Oh my god, look at this one. Kendama delicious. Have you ever met Donald Grant?
I have met Donald Grant. He's a fucking G. Do you know who Donald Grant is?
I'm gonna say no. And first I was going to say, what's his name? No, he's a kendama player, of course.
Yes.
But for me, it heralds back to the old WKT era where there was a few people. What was his name? There's that one dude who became a Kenko pro. Hunter Bailey.
Yeah,
this is not very different
to do with Hunter Bailey.
Nothing.
Well, maybe actually a lot to do, but actually nothing to do. So Donald Grant is he Scottish? He might be British. I know him from the BKA forums. If you were ever a part of the BKA forums, the British Kendama Association, with which the Void started.
Yeah. I was never a part of it, but I know of it well. Yeah.
Donald Grant was one of the original, like, most creative kendama players in history of kendama. He invented the swirl.
Shit.
And he did all the artwork for.
Okay.
You remember the Roush episode? On his wall.
That's where the name. That's familiar. But yeah, that's where I know it from. But I don't know much about his play. Yeah.
He has some edits and shit, but most of his stuff I think was single tricks on juggling.tv and also the BKA forums, which was a big part of juggling.tv. I believe the BKA forums are still active. I haven't looked in years. I hope they are. If they're not, they're probably still viewable, I would think. I'm going to check this out after we're done with this because I'm very interested. And he is definitely Scottish. Thank you, Jack.
There you go.
And dude, Kenomalicious just brought up Alex Sierra also. Dude, if you guys don't know Alex Sierra, do yourself a favor, go check out Alex Sierra. He was doing all the shit that you want to do.
Shit, though?
Dude, yeah, Alex Sierra, Kendama, and YouTube ones too on YouTube. Like, yeah,
no Instagram.
But yeah, Donald Grant, dude, fuck it, and they are. Yes, Jack. Yes. Kendama.co.uk. Still going.
Kendama.co.uk.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking the BKA forums. I will never forget the first time I saw Donald Grant play kendama. And I was just like, what in the fuck?
They're up. It's up.
Yeah. It's
Spike Knees. Get your books here.
Dude, there you have it. The picture is alive and well. It's beautiful to see. Wow. Beautiful to see. So yeah, if you nerds don't know Donald Grant, hop over to kendama.co.uk. Make yourself a username. Hop onto the BKA forums. check out some shit. There's a lot of cool shit going on there. Have some fun. I haven't looked in years. I'm gonna check it out for this, honestly. So thank you for that.
I have to do homework for this one. Shit.
Beautiful little throwback. Fuck yes. Moving on to Starry-Eyed Stacy. Will y'all do a doubles whirly since the nerds are finally in the same room?
It didn't go so easy earlier. It didn't go well earlier.
And I do have like Dubs on my lap here who was very upset earlier that she wasn't getting enough attention.
Yep, right, Dubs.
But we can try it at the end, maybe.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll try.
We'll at least attempt it.
Yes. Doubles? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. Next one.
Natty colors or bright colors? From Delaney.
Natty. Easy. The easy question. Unless the bright color is white, just white, which is not a color, so natty.
I mean, it's all about feel, though, Like, if you're only going to play a natty, like, it depends on the wood. I don't know. Like, we're talking about just color. We're talking about look. I kind of like the colors, not gonna lie. But you can't fuck with the way a natty kendama looks. You really can't. It's too iconic and too, like, simple and classic. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Looked good back then, looks good. It's going to look good 20 years from now.
Yes. Yes, it will.
But that, like...
case in point is those TO mods, the Jack Kendama. So Jack Kendama GT collab, where it's TO's shade made by Jack Kendama.
Kayaki.
Out of Kayaki. All Kayaki with those little micro grooves. That shit, so fucking nice. It looks so good. And it plays nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess natty is the answer. You're right.
Yeah.
We love the colors. I love the colors. However, you can't fuck with it.
Natty.
Not to be fucked with.
All the way.
All right. From Once You Go, Jack. Who's taking Trick of the Year this year?
Dude, I haven't even, really looked into
I will have to. I want to put an entry in myself, but I don't have anything like the Whirlwind that I did last year to put in. And I really feel like there was a lot more of a presence this year than there was last year.
What
Trick of the Year from what I've seen.
Chrome TYT?
TOTY 2023 or 2022, sorry.
Is Chrome
That's an N, not an M. There you go. So I've seen a bunch of tricks that I think should be in it. Like, for example, one trick was Takuya did, it was like border balance, flip insta border balance to juggle cloud mounts back to border balance. It's about border balance flip. Like that kind of.
Oh, but there's an Alex Mitchell.
There's Alex Mitchell's Fast Hand Solar Flare. That's also up there.
Ridiculous.
That's some fucked up shit.
Is he in Japan?
In that clip, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Fucking fucked up trick. There's also I'm pretty sure Tio's entering that fucking
Phlox. Someone said Phlox put one in.
The tap down the Leon 25 or whatever.
Oh, okay,
which is also pretty crazy.
Epic.
And yeah, Tio's Leon 25 is definitely in there.
Very epic.
Elijah Lane did an Emmanuel bird flip that was fucking gorgeous. That I believe. Elijah Lane is also actually one of my favorite players to watch. Because, goddamn, that dude does everything so fucking clean, so beautiful. It's just, that's it right there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Here, we're going to watch it right now and see the fucking... Oh, okay. I want that one to win. That one's fucking nice. That one's really nice. It is hard to judge, though. Dude, but no, it's like...
Yeah. It's
that was such a nice fucking trick. Oh my god, I
good. And of course, masterful. So well done.
But the only thing that I think could have made it better would be fast hand in and out, fast hand to bird, type fast hand bird out, fast hand stunt, or stunt fast hand. That would have made it a little bit nicer.
It's not.
It ain't nice.
Once you release an award to the extent of your deconstruction trick, I feel like every award that happens, every new champ that gets in whatever first place in whatever comp, like that sets the standard. So for me, looking at any kind of like ridiculous high tech, very difficult, but it doesn't come to the same level.
But don't you think that sets the bar a little bit too high though? Where like, what else is like, I don't know.
It doesn't. It like
because
at least for me, of course. Now this goes to the people. It's up to the people.
and this is like the same thing we talked about with like catch and flow, where like judging, like who is your judge, is like such an imperative decision. You know, like who is judging the creativity, who is judging the difficulty, who is judging the combo, like so that shit is like very important.
Yeah.
You know, because different people have different opinions.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that like we all have different opinions on. We all kind of see it a little bit in our own light, from our own perspective. So it's very interesting. Very fucking interesting.
So it's really hard to say exactly.
Yeah, it really depends on how they look at it.
Floxes.
Flox has one as well?
How?
Yeah.
Like
This man uses magnets.
back. And he switched off lefty too.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like a handle stall, like barrel to left hand handle stall, and then like barrel to right hand handle stall, all full
Like amazing, but at the same time, it's like magical. Too much, I personally feel.
Kendama bar is growing.
Yes. Over to what June was talking about.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I don't know who's taking it.
I'll say this: I don't envy the judges.
Who are the judges?
I think the ones we just talked about are good contenders for sure.
D-Pass 48. Shinosuke.
I haven't gone through all of them.
Hype session.
Hype session. I think we kind of stopped in on that planet a little bit, but I'm always down to hype up Shin-chan. Shin-chan is fucking so sick.
Ridiculous.
So like,
Great player, 14 years old, only growing in, of course, like in Little Ripper.
Again, like my favorite part about his performance at Catch and Flow was his attitude. He came out there with the mindset, like the face of the champion. He came out there and like people were doing tricks, and he's just
giving with fucking fingers back down.
That it was just like, you know, like fucking holy shit.
Again, I got video. I need to like just cut it real quick, fucking throw it on YouTube. I got most of the top 16 bouts recorded. Me and Rod were down in the fucking
we were
in the pit right in front, holding the fucking stage up at some points here and there.
If you guys watch my live stream, you know what we're talking about.
Really, he has such like you were saying, the mentality that he had for it is what really helped him, I believe, push through the barrier
of monsters he had to fucking conquer.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then again with the whole like catch and flow style really being in his favor of his play, you know, he took down Takio, which there was a little controversy there with the people who were watching. It was like, wow, I really expected Takio to take that bout, but
that's again the judges, you know. It was the same thing with Wyatt versus Marty.
Yes.
Even Marty was surprised that Wyatt won.
It's like, what?
Yeah. So like
Double take that?
That's just the way it goes.
That's how it is. Shinosuke, you guys, everyone follow Shinosuke.
Yeah, hit him up. Check out Shinosuke Togo.
His sponsors as well. They're creating great stuff.
Kendama, Ken Hole. Amazing fashion mirror.
From Grand Dama. Rod, as a Canadian OG Slayer, where do you see the Canadian kendama community going?
Let's Well, bud, I would have to say that I would love to say that it's only going to grow, and I do believe it's growing because it's kind of an inevitable thing with all of us that are still like continually in it and still continually putting life into that community. There's only going to be more interest over time. And my only thing is that I really hope that those are the type of people who become interested, are the type of people who stick around. The type of people like what we're talking about, that have that mindset, that are in for the long haul, that are in for the grind, you know, and not just there for the fucking hype and the one and done. Like Vancouver had a bit of a hype for a little while where there was a lot of kids who were really into it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of events where there was like hundreds of kids that came out, played kendama and shit, and now they're all gone. You know, they don't play. It's the same as like in Romania where it's just like
they started playing fucking Minecraft
and it's just gone. And now Romania has like 8 kendama players. You know? Like literally though, like when I was in Bucharest, they were like, you know, we had a jam and Barry was like, yeah, like this is pretty much the Romanian scene.
Wow.
You know, like, and it was just like, fuck.
Just the 2 Sweets pros?
Yeah. No, sir. It was like Tiblex and Barry.
Yeah.
Like a couple other of the home.
Jesus is really afraid about that.
Yeah. But I mean, and like Awase and Alpha are there as well. But that's like, you know, I don't know. But like, yeah, in Canada, like we're talking about with Van Jam, we have a little bit more of a like laid back vibe for the most part, you know, and at least in Vancouver. And then you go over to like the Calgary side. Calgary's been blowing up, man. Like I grew up in Calgary area and in Calgary and shit, and I like was a part of growing that scene from the get-go before I moved to Vancouver. And then I remember coming to visit my mom and shit in Alberta, and I happened to be around where there was a jam with like the Brood homies and shit, and I fucking was blown away by it. How many people were there that I had no idea even existed, and they were all like really good at kendama. So it's really beautiful to see that it's not just the shit that I see. You know, there's other things. There's also like out in Ontario, the homies fucking session out there. Like there's a lot of shit going on out there, and I don't see that because I'm not in Ontario yet.
Okay.
So like,
Canada's big.
Yeah, Canada's fucking huge. I really think that it's on the way up. It's just like everywhere else. I think, you know, kendama as a whole is just growing.
I think you guys got too much like cold seasons, like maybe a little long.
Wow, for the outdoors.
Could possibly, you know?
Yeah.
Now give a little hindrance for the people who are playing kendama.
Never too cold to be.
You know, they're outside for a rip or in the kitchen for a rip, you know?
Oh yeah, you don't have to be outside to be out for a rip, bud. You can just be fucking ripping.
Oh.
Dubs just wants out.
Oh, shit. Back from Cam. Do you think we'll be getting more jugglers this year into kendama since the weird momentum of the... Can I not see that full question?
Yeah. Of the world has been colliding. I think it goes both ways. I mean, you and me, Cam, are prime examples of that. You and me are both fucking...
Cam's been getting into it.
Juggling.
Yeah.
And, you know, juggling hard. Cam especially, dude. He's already way better than me at 5-ball.
Word.
Yeah, it's fucked. A little bad.
Oh, shit is not easy, but yeah.
Yeah, and it goes both ways.
I feel like it's like, I think someone was talking about like the difference with like yo-yo and kendama, where it's like there's a lot more suspense with kendama, where
Come here, buddy.
in yo-yo it's just like do the thing and then fucking whap, it comes back. So it's like it's like one solid motion. I remember a drummer friend of mine back in the day talking about like how to play drums, and he's like, you don't think about like your hand, you know, ride hand going 4, and then your snares doing like the 2 and the 4, and then the kick is doing this. It's like you think of it as all one motion that you're doing. So it's like I've kind of thought of that with yo-yo, and then kendama is more of a separation between. Especially when you know about kendama and what the tricks are, what's happening, then you can see exactly what motions happen, and then like where the more difficult tech happens within that line. And with juggling, like there's no stop.
I mean, it depends on the trick you're doing.
I guess there's like, yeah, you know, like the juggling job, like with spin around back, like, because like there's what I see as a non-juggler, you know. But it's not that like finishing, like yo-yo is like whap boom, like said and done. Even if you don't play yo-yo, you know, okay,
yeah,
kendama, that we had to learn a little bit, but okay, we learned that spiking it, doing an airplane, that's the bringing the two back together.
Juggling has that as well, though. It's you get all the pieces up and drop out, and you don't drop them. and you get them back in your hands. You stop.
Towards the end.
Yeah, that's like the way it works, you know? Is like if you're juggling 5 balls and you do like, 30 catches or something, you catch all 5, that's how it counts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you still get the 30 catches if you didn't catch them all, but it's not like if you're going to qualify a juggling trick, like, so for example, so if I'm learning 5-ball juggling, I throw 5 balls in the air once each, catch all 5, that's a flash, it's called. If I throw all 5 in the air twice, so I get 10 catches out of that, that's a qualify. So in order to qualify, you have to get those catches. So that's like the technicality of it, right? But juggling just has so much more history behind it, It's like looking at Japan versus North America.
Yeah.
There's just, so much more depth to it already because there's such a history behind it. People have been juggling things for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Like literally. Whereas like kendama has been around for 100, like in some, So it's really interesting to look at the two and compare the two. But to kind of revert back to the question of like the crossover and to see if there'll be more kendama within juggling, I think that is already happening, and I think that is a thing. Like there is a lot of crossover with that, and I think a lot of jugglers look at kendama as something that's like, it's too hard to be a performative thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, so like, because they're used to just catching things, not going for catching on a spike, So it's a different vibe in a way.
Yeah.
But that being said, jugglers have their own precision, their own type of that kind of a grind. So they're also very capable of that. It's just getting the interest peaked, and with the growth of kendama, you're looking at more possibilities that are already being explored, So from somebody outside perspective who's doing something very similar, like a juggler, they're going to look at that and be like, well, fuck, if this guy can take the whole kendama apart in midair and put it back together, then maybe I can just spike it on stage a few times.
Yeah.
Like this year at the IJA, which is the biggest event for juggling, the winner was a kendama player, Ho Lam. Oh, shit. From Hong Kong. He was at Van Jam this year. So I lied. Actually, there was 2 foreigners from outside of Vancouver. Shout out Ho Lam. Good dude. Really good kendama player. And he did a juggling performance with stringless kendamas. And not only stringless, actually, but with kendamas. And he won the IJA championships through that.
Wow.
With kendama. So that alone in of itself is already showing the growth within that community of kendama. Right?
Right. And so people definitely know about it in the community, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Then people like, Don Grant,
skill toy,
like Matt Hall. Like that's kind of people like Matt Hall is like one of the most OG motherfuckers you'll ever meet in juggling and kendama. He taught void kendama.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Shout out Matt Hall. Fucking realest dude you'll ever meet. But yeah, I think that's the answer to your question, but
Nerds.
Check out this next one.
How many we got?
Straight pull-up spike first try or I'm unfollowing. Debbie Delaney. You know what? Fine. If I miss it, you can unfollow.
You can unfollow. Sorry, you don't have to follow. It's totally up to you.
Slap that follow.
Your choices, lad. All over the place. Here we go. This is one it came from before. Good to get to it.
You're gonna do an episode with Billy Hebo. I mean, he's 100% part of the list that we want. I mean, we have so many people that we want to get in here. It's really hard, man. If you think about it, think about how vast the kendama community is, how many people there are that you would love to hear from, or, like how many people that we would love to talk to. And we're only doing 1 at a time, 2 at a time.
Yeah.
So it's like...
We've done multiple. Again, we recently did a Soul Boys, another Soul Boys app, volume 2, you could say. It's tough to really focus in on, like, one thing that we can all, like, add something to the conversation. So, yeah, like, really, like, going in one guest per episode is, like, the best.
100%.
It's just, it works.
Yeah. And like, yeah, of course Cam will be on one day. You know, Mr. Licious over here.
Oh man,
The Stanky Dankers and his dance
God,
studio at some point.
Stankus.
So like, it's hard to like just be like, yeah, we'll get him on next week. But yeah, of course you want Tebow in. Because like, he's OG as fuck. I've known Tebow for a long time. He's dude.
Yeah.
And I was hyped to hang out with him a little bit in France when I was there this year.
Nice.
In Europe.
Nice.
He's 100% on the list of people that we want in.
Truly.
At some point, yes, Billy will be in the virtual studio.
Oh, Billy. Are we getting to the end?
We're getting there?
Getting to the end?
Right. Deadbeat Delaney again. Do you like how hyped kendama is nowadays, or do you like when it was super underground? So we kind of talked about this a bunch.
I mean, yeah.
I think the hype has always been the same. The hype level, like the level of hype within the community has always been the same. But it's still pretty underground. You know, like we're not a mainstream community. There's like, if you walk down the street and ask 10 people, I bet you 10 of those people are going to say they don't know what kendama is. Well, depending on what country you're in. If you do it here, everybody's going to know what kendama is, but they're not going to know about the community behind it.
Right.
Know? So it's
totally underground. I feel like, you know, we make so many comparisons so many times to skateboarding, and you know, like I remember when I was skateboarding in middle school, it was me and like two other kids, me and two other of my friends, and that's it out of all the kids. And then going into high school, all right, more kids gathered from other middle schools to this one high school, and then okay, we've maybe upped like 5 more skaters. That was it though. It was really so underground. But nowadays, I guess maybe thanks to Tony Hawk Pro's
part of it for sure. Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot more people who got into it, and I remember like traveling back the last time I was in the States, like seeing so many kids like riding skateboards. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, damn, like you guys have it easy. You know, I'm being the old man, just being like, shit, damn. But it is what it is. So that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see the old hype. It's good to reminisce about the old times, but shit always needs to move forward in the progression.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I mean, like Cam is saying in the chat right now that like in Michigan he did First Spike and asked 6 people and they all knew about it, you know, which is dope. And I do think that we've all been doing a lot of work to like push this and to like show it to people. So there is a lot more awareness of it at this point than there ever has been. Even though that we don't have everybody playing it, we don't have everybody as stoked on it as we are, kind of thing. But there is a lot of people who know about it. It is on the way up, where like, especially awareness wise, you know, with people doing TV things. Like we're talking about Kohaku Itagasen in Japan.
Yes.
You know, Sweets has been doing TV shows like The Breakfast Show, whatever, with like Cindy and Carla. I don't know names and shit. Like, shit like that.
Local news.
Like Tio and Tim were on like Friends.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, like
massive.
There's been stuff like that going on all around the world.
All those like little like snippets that like Sweets usually like repost from Netflix or some like show.
Yeah, exactly.
That there's like there's a fucking kid out in the background.
Exactly.
Table.
And people at Ashley Home Furniture have been watching me for years play outside, which makes sense. I mean, yeah. With people like Cam being around, or like people like you and I being around, or like probably any of you in this chat, they're gonna see it. They're gonna fucking know about it at least, you know? So like,
they'll get to it. So it is not like in the case of skateboarding, like skateboarding where nobody knew about it. It wasn't so popular back in the day. And then now it has grown into a thing where everybody knows what skateboarding is. Most people probably have a skateboard that's like rusting in the garage or something.
Totally.
At least. So like in Japan, like it's still not even at that point. Maybe there's some people who everybody knows what it is, but they still have one.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
They don't know about like the grand scheme of it, you know? They know like pieces of the 1,000-piece puzzle kind of.
Right. So that's just like one place. So then to think about even a place where it's not such a thing within the culture ingrained in it, So then, yeah, it's gonna take a while.
But yeah, but to like
Underground.
to answer the like question, I kind of want to say that I do kind of like the old days better, only because there was this like this new feeling and this anticipation of what could be, you know. But I do still love where it's at, and I'm excited to see where it still will be. So like that anticipation is still there. That never went away. We're just in this growing period of watching it kind of become what it could be or what it will be, you know?
True.
And yeah, we all know Dubs is right. She's been dropping food bombs all night in the back
whole time.
Let me out of this room.
Or going anywhere, because you're gonna wake up everybody screaming like that outside. That's why you stay here. Yes. So chill.
Yeah, you know it. She knows.
So many paints right now and more coming into 2023. Got a top 2. Y'all are session hard.
Top 2 paints.
Paints?
That's an interesting question. I think at this point, I'm sure you have less than I have had a chance to play all of them. Like, honestly, I've felt a lot of them. Obviously, we're talking about Cushion Clear and how much we all love Cushion Clear and how that's a big one that's been...
Once you get used to it, again, like when I was like going in for my 28 tricks later with this guy,
It is Dubs, yes.
it was Cushion. It's Cushion, and like when I was first playing it, like especially lighthouses, lunars, okay, they sit really well. But if you try to go for a lighthouse, for me, not being used to like the extra stick to it, it was like I kind of don't like this. But then you get used to it, right?
I know. I get used to it. I know.
You know, we call it old botch. It's like 11 years old, guys.
I know, buddy.
And then stepping away from that, going to different like rubber, normal matte rubber, or like friction clear, light friction clear. I'm used to that more from the rubber side of like silk paint and stuff. I always prefer that even over your standard like sticky paints. So, but when you get used to friction, to Cush, it works well. I like
Absolutely.
it. It's good, yes. But at the same time, like good with a rubber. Yeah.
So like on that note though, there's other paints that are like of similar, which I haven't tried, very different. Yeah,
Got that box. This is closed box.
Dude, I mean, are you trying to fucking...
No, not right now.
There's I've gotten to sesh a lot of the Adrian Clear, the Clear. I got to...
Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know. That's just how I'm doing it.
Clear.
And the Claire.
It's like eclair, but
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
No, I don't know. How do you actually pronounce it? I guess just Clear. But I think that kind of paint is like where it's like super like grippy as motherfucker. And it's super sick for lunars and shit, and for stalls even, because it grabs the spike and like holds those words a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
But like sometimes a little hard for lighthouses. Like you said, it kind of takes a little getting used to. You get like, because with like the stickier paints and stuff like that we're all used to that come on most kendamas, you can just like quickly adjust, slide that tama around if you're trying to get that stunt versus a falling in kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it gets a little bit of there's a little bit of a learning curve, I guess, with these new paints.
Yes.
It's just figuring out exactly what's required to make them work the way you want them to. And yeah, I don't know. I guess to answer the question, top 2 obsession hard. I mean, I've been session Cushion Clear really hard, and what else? Just the regular sticky clear. I've been session
Sticky.
Yeah, and just the regular ass Hanrui sticky. Also, actually, no. One of the tamas I've been sessioning has been, I have a Tim mod from Kendama, France.
Oh, okay. Is that sticky now?
Yeah, it's like sticky, but it's all France made.
Oh,
It's not made in China.
Oh shit!
It's a birch tama.
Even the paint.
Everything's made in France.
So I didn't know that, and you can't get them anymore.
Well, I mean, Native and Kendama, France, actually, I believe were bought.
Oh no shit!
So I don't know what's up with it.
They may be moving, but maybe the paint's going to somewhere other.
I don't know exactly what's up with it. But somebody else brought up what I was going to bring up is the new Legacy's paint is also pretty banging.
Oh, okay.
That easy clear, they call it.
And we don't know what's up with. Okay, yes, there is a new clear there.
There's also like the Sulab paint that everybody is fiending for at all times.
The friction.
Yes, where now Sulab is in a different place. They're moving the things. So
They're in a different place. There is a new type of paint coming from Sulab. Definitely a new type of paint. That's
some people are fucking shitting their pants. Some people for good and bad reasons right now, I think.
I'll let you in on the secret of it'll be for good because it is going to be a kind of base level paint for Sulab stuff, not high end friction clear.
Interesting.
So hey, Legacies were always owned. Yes, and they were.
Insider info. Yeah, that is true. Actually, like I have some old Legacies Tamas that are some of the most honed Tamas.
That's how. I mean, their Kens were just like still traditional size for like when it was like like GT still sticking with the old G shape for a while before they up the sizes and stuff.
Totally. And just like that for that steam coat shit, like when you beat it in really nice, if you got a good one, that shit just fucking lasts gummed up. In like all the good ways is like not like to keep this thing the fuck out of here. That thing is gonna be stuck to whatever it touches for all of eternity.
Oh shit! Oh god! Okay,
okay. Last question. Definitely.
What color was your first kendama? Do you still have it?
Oh, of course. I do. My first one. While you go get yours, I'll answer. My first kendama was an Ozora, and it was a sky blue, and of course I still have it, and. It's still sessionable, but it's pretty beat the fuck up. It's Canada, so you don't get to see it right now, but looks like MJ's digging for his, which he's about to get.
No,
it's not in there.
No, well, where should it?
Well,
where did I? Oh, wait.
Well,
that's the old one.
Where do you rate Natty on the paint scale?
It's not a paint. You can't rate it on the paint scale.
No, it's not on the paint scale, but I see what you're getting at for like the how honed a Tama can be scale. That's a hard one. I don't know. I'd have to say it depends on the natty because like with Kens, when they're made of different woods, it really depends on the piece of wood and also like the type of wood, like a lot of woods kind of are grippier than others. A lot of woods are smoother than others, heavier than others. So it depends on how you work them in. It depends, like, natties, you straight up just need to dip that shit in some water. Get a wet sweat on it a little bit, and it'll
seriously.
Sicker than any paint you ever had. But here is MJ's first. The dark
blue got it, of course. Yes. Dark blue. A gift from the wifey.
Dude, I had a dark blue Zora too, and mine, like, yeah, you see, you got it going on here on the nice. On the top of the Sarah, you can see the paint comes off hella.
Yes.
Every kendama I ever kept in a bag with my dark blue Zora has blue all over it.
All over.
Just fucking everything. Just it was like a fucking, like it's a wet rag or something.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking about with being able to rub it on the cups. I'm not going to do it.
The paint does color, yeah.
Yeah. There's just, this paint just like loves to just transfer onto whatever it touches. You can see it on the cups a little bit.
Yeah.
But you never did the rudder trick, I can see.
No, I never. No, fuck, no one was around to teach me that shit. This was the guy that I was like jamming, like, whoa, fuck, for a few years. This one, I never really thought about it, but like those first kendamas, this is where you learn like all your shit. Like, look at that fucking.
Dude, this thing is at pretty good condition for a first.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good. The spike is hella fucked. But other than that,
learning those airplanes.
So like my first cannon looked like this, but I took a fucking box cutter to it and I reshaped that shit and then.
Oh really?
So it's all fucked up. Looks like a black man fucking like that. It. But yeah, I should have sanded it around first. I didn't know any better.
Just that's it. A nice cherry Tama.
Am I going to be turning anything in Japan? No, I don't have a lathe to work on in Japan, and I'm too busy having fun, to be honest.
Right now, you have
to lunar tray check on the Ozora. Get out of here. You're drunk. Go home.
I mean, look at the height difference, though.
Dude, yeah, you push those cups down.
Yeah.
That's some good sessions. I love it. We love to see it.
First ones. You gotta keep them. You just gotta keep them. But yep, that's it. Still got it. We got Brent come in with the last one.
For Austin's.
What's the next major trend for kendamas, tricks, designs, etc. in the next year, 2023?
With trends, that's a hard one to predict. I mean, because there's just, at this point, like we were saying, there's so many people in the community, so many new faces, new perspectives, and new things going on that it's hard to really say, you know, like, I would have to say that, like, I think design, we're at a point where, like, shapes are what they're gonna be. Because, like, making things bigger is too big for, like, traditional, like, what a kendama is, like, other than, like, performance stuff. Making things too smaller is, like, it's too small, you know? So I think what it's gonna be is it's gonna be design things is what it is. And it's been like that for a long time, I think, and it's just making things more, like, accessible for people, making things cool for people outside of it.
Have you checked out Kendama Bulgaria?
Kendama Bulgaria.
Have you checked out Kendama Bulgaria?
We're not, like,
they're doing some shit which I feel is on the cusp of possible, could be seen as, like, norm for kendamas to be added to features of extra grooves. Now, there's been other companies that we've talked about who've adding grooves, you know, Jack G2. I mean, recently you got your...
We're talking about grooves. I think bigger than grooves is, like, that fatty cup that, like, overhangs, like quad kendamas.
Okay.
Jet shape also has that.
Yes.
You know, which really just locks in those fucking stalls. It gives room for, like, a fatter edge for birds and stuff like that. And they have some fatty bird ridges. Holy shit.
No, I've been eyeballing these guys for a while. Super fat. Look how tiny the sword is, though, going into the Sarado.
Oh, it's really short.
Oh, shit.
Good God.
Fat. You guys don't know? Check out Kendama Bulgaria. I've been following them for a bit, or just recently, and seeing their different ideas within kendama, explaining what they feel is possibly the best type of kendama.
Does that one say Zen on it?
Yeah, Zen.
Zen. They're bringing back the Z word. Nice.
So they have this one major kind of shape that they've put through. It looks like they have a different, like, almost like a car, like, lineup of, like, oh, this is this line, this is this line. They all have the same kendama shape, from what I can understand. Different styles of paint and design for the tama. That's the biggest difference that I see. Maybe different wood choices as well.
But then they have fucking Zen and Harmony and something else on their tamas.
Yeah. So there's a full line.
They look cheesy, but not bad. I like it.
Yeah, no, there's a few of them. Yeah. There's a few that are very, very cheesy.
Well, I have seen this.
Yes?
Yes. The secret shape. 9 models, 8 different woods.
One of the biggest, if not the biggest, competitive kendama shapes.
What does that mean?
Double lunar hole.
What in the hell?
With the copyright mark. The secret shape copyright mark. 9 models, 8 different woods, double edge, Sarado design, double lunar hole, all new solid sticky paints. New solid stickies? Game enhancing laser engravings, and that's the grip, the ridges to add the grip.
The little ridge.
Yeah.
That's a laser engraving? That doesn't look like a laser engraving. I mean, that looks like it's cut into it.
Motivational laser engravings, epic design. Express worldwide shipping, easy checkout. It's we are part
of the evolution. Interesting. Kendama Bulgaria, interesting.
It's those new. This is something that's really cool because it looks like they've been putting a lot of time and effort into, like, the Ken design and other styles of, like, I had a little discussion on Weekly Dama News about paints. Scarce Kendamas is getting into, like, their paint game.
I fucking forgot. We're talking about paints. The Origins paint. The Eric's paint. I have one of the fucking EKC Kendamas that he made. That's, like, so sick. The Origins is killing it. And also, in the comments here, you guys are talking about the Origins without the buttholes and having holes and water and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, lunar holes weren't as common because it just wasn't as much of a thing. And at this point, like, I personally, like, when I hand make kendamas...
But was it?
It was in the Musos. The Musos were the first ones to do it.
But was it? And it's like, it's those times when you're just ahead of the game, too much to the point where everyone looks and just laughs and just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to do like the pinky in the butthole, like pop off to goon circle. I used to call that a Muso only trick, you know?
Oh, okay.
Because it was the only one that had those. But I personally, from my shape, when I'm trying to kendama, like I said, I can design it to put weight where I want it a lot easier than China does when they just pump out a million kens.
Yes.
So I chose to put a big booty hole in her because it makes it a little more consistent. So if they make it so that it's not the way you want it, then it's going to be a little more consistently loony, I find, than not. And that's why I chose to do that specifically. Talking about buttholes. But go back to Brett Austin's
major trend.
The next major trend.
Chunkier.
I still believe...
Chunkier cups.
Yeah, chunkier cups.
The ridges on the edge,
yeah. Design in general, like new patterns, new, like, you know, like everyone's mod has new stuff going on with it, new things. Because we're still such a young community, there's still things going on. I think there's going to be a lot more exciting looking kendamas, a lot more throwbacks to like we're talking about the Jack GT, you know, like the Kayaki, stuff like that. Just a lot of exploration, you know, like finding where we want to be, essentially. And that's like where the shape is at this point. Like we're kind of talking about, like we think we're in the pocket.
Right.
So we're in the pocket. We're just kind of feeling out how deep the pocket goes, how shallow it is. Maybe it's like a kimono, like arm pocket. Maybe it's a fucking, you know, back pocket, you know, whatever. But like we're in the pocket at this point, you know, I think.
It's a hot pocket.
It's a hot pocket. Put that shit in the microwave. I would eat the shit of popper right now, actually. But, damn, this has been a fucking grind. We got the major anniversary Dama Nerds episode.
Major.
This has been a great time. Little spontaneous, you know.
It definitely was.
We're just hanging out inside Dama, and it's like, hey, why don't we do a live since we're hanging out drinking these beers anyways? We're gonna be, like I said, talking about fucking canola anyway, hanging out. So
exactly.
Might as well fucking throw you nerds in the mix and get some questions and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you all for fucking hanging out with us and throwing in some questions. And
that's it. Yeah, dude, thanks everyone out there who continues to support.
Shout out to all Patreons.
Thank you so much. You know, unannounced hiatus. We still got episodes. We're still figuring out schedules of like looking at who we want to talk to next. It is definitely a thing that was going to continue to go. We went hard at the beginning. There's a lot of motivation, a lot of extra time. That time has been, you know, cut a little bit here and there and stuff. We're still here. We're still nerds.
We ain't going nowhere.
You guys are going to be nerds with us. Love everyone here. For anyone who's checked out an episode, who subscribed, of course, massive thanks to everyone who's gone above and beyond to support on Patreon as well. Be on the lookout. Massive episodes coming.
The next one's a fucking juicy one.
Possible
salivating.
Like possible things that you can actually hold and put in your hands coming next year with Damaners around it. You know, we're excited to be working more and more for this next coming year. So hey, maybe that will be the trend. Damaners shit.
Hey, that could be a trend. I mean, hey. And yeah, New Year, new edit comp.
Get ready.
Thanks for admiring there, fucking shouting it out. Thanks for that.
Get ready.
Get ready for that. Get your cameras warmed up. Fucking charge those batteries.
Yeah.
Choose your favorite paint, your favorite shape. Throw one of those fancy fucking strings on there. A nice little spinner in there. Yeah, maybe buy a nice little pushing rod mod if you feel so inclined. Get filming. Get on the Patreon. Get listening. Get some Coeto beer in you. And
man.
On that note, these nerds are out.